Welcome to Screencast, Kind of Funny's only entertainment-based podcast where we come together and talk about movies, TV shows, and streaming services. I'm your host, Kevin Coelho. To my immediate left, we've got Joey, the movie bros herself, Noelle.
Hello.
And to your left, we have Nick, the three-fingered movie reviewer.
The three-fingered monster. You're getting better at hosting, by the way. I shouldn't say great, but better at hosting.
Thanks.
Because you were going to introduce me, but you
Scarpino.
saw me drinking, and you called an audible and went to Joe first. Pro maneuver.
It was hard because I had to say left instead of my immediate right, which is what I normally say. It was, yeah.
You're improvising now. The machine is learning.
Sure. You can catch our show live every Friday, except for when we decide to have it on Mondays.
Every week. Just say
Yeah.
week.
Yeah.
Why are you every week?
At around
you.
11:30-ish, 11:20-ish.
Yeah, we come in here.
We're not great at hitting our
Come all over the
times.
place.
On twitch.tv/kindoffunnygames. If you don't have time to watch us live, that's totally cool. You can go and watch us on VOD, whether it be YouTube or Rooster Teeth. We're on both those places. If you don't want to watch us, you could listen to us on your favorite podcast streaming services, whatever they are. Whatever they are. If we're not on that service, let Tim Gettys know, and he'll fix that. He'll add us to them.
Yes,
None
Barry,
of us
can
know
you
how
run
that
Tim
technology
Gettys' phone number down at the bottom there just so we can...
on Twitter, you know?
Oh, okay.
At Tim Gettys.
808
It's not even close, Barry. It's not even close.
1-800 baby blues.
Oh man.
What I was saying is, before we started the show.
Yeah.
There's a probably 80% possibility you could talk Dee into taking you instead of me tonight.
Yeah, but I don't.
I'm sure she'd love that.
Oh, it's gonna be so good. I want to go.
I know.
It's a Lizzo concert that
Yeah,
somehow Nick got tickets to.
We just random spur of the moment, like we saw it pop up somewhere, like 3 or 4 months ago, and Dee was like, "Should we get tickets?" And I was like, "We're not gonna be able to get tickets to Lizzo. Like she's blowing up right now.
Yeah.
There's no way we're gonna be able to. And also, we don't like going out on Friday, Saturday, Sunday, Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, or Thursday." And she was like,
Friday either.
Oh, Friday, no, God no. And she was like, "Well, there's a Monday show," and I was like, "Well, I guess of all the days of the week to go out, that'll be the one where fewer people are.
Yeah.
So that's fine." But boy, on my way to work today, I think it's because of the fires. There are so many fucking people in
Where
the
are
city
the
right
fires
now.
happening right now?
They're
Everywhere.
up above Roanoke Park, I think.
Yeah, my
Like,
uncle
way
got
up there.
evacuated in
Up
Santa
in
Rosa.
Sonoma.
It's
Yeah.
Pleasant Springs, or what is it called?
It's Sonoma.
It's Sonoma County, but like far Sonoma County.
Yeah.
And like my folks were in town for a conference,
Yeah.
and it got canceled.
Oh, man.
And they got asked to leave the hotel because it became an
Oh,
official
shit.
evacuation zone.
Wow.
Which my mom loves because she hates spending money. So she was like, "Wait a minute, are we about to get a free night in a hotel?" And I was like, "Maybe, I don't know." Like, anyway, what are we talking about? Oh, movies. Yeah. Let's go to that.
You can also help support us on patreon.com/kindoffunny. Yeah? Yeah. Let's do a little bit of housekeeping. This Thursday, the Halloween Hellscape pay-per-view will go live. Is that correct? That sounds right?
Ooh,
That
yeah.
sounds
right. Yeah.
YouTube premiere. Come hang out with us in the chat. 4:00 p.m. Pacific, whatever time.
We had
You nailed it.
way more fun than we had any right to filming that thing.
Did we finish shooting everything we had to?
I
for
don't
it?
think
We
so,
did.
but I think what happened
we
was
got a couple of pickups that I think we needed to do.
yeah, we have a couple
Great.
things, but I think what happened was
Great.
it's one of those things where we're getting better at making content. Is that
Sure.
we had this super ambitious thing, and then we were like, why don't we just like instead of 150%, we'll scale it back to like 120%.
We had a cage match.
We did have a cage
I feel like
match.
we
We did.
scaled it down.
My favorite,
Not that much.
well, don't spoil it for
But
people.
yeah, well, I
my
mean-
favorite thing is there was a conversation where Kevin Coelho walked in and was like, "Are we gonna keep this cage?" And we all had to actually be like, "Well, I don't want to store it in here, but it is an outdoor cage. It is like a fence that you could do. So we just put it outside." Yeah, that makes sense.
okay.
Yeah, so we put it outside.
You know, with
it's gonna get
every-
rusted.
It's an
Yes.
outdoor cage.
Nah, it's gonna. I know that it's gonna get rusted. I can tell you right now, it's gonna have that white rust like the cans do, like the aluminum cans.
Oh yeah,
Yeah.
the oxidization or whatever.
Sure.
it is.
Yeah.
it's
Exactly.
fine.
It'll be fine.
We
Well-
also have Extra Life coming up this weekend.
We do. Guess what?
So close.
There's
Jesus.
a lot of things happening this week on
Community streaming Friday,
Friday.
right?
Yeah, after Terminator Dark Fate, we're going to roll straight into community streams that we're hosting until 10 a.m. on Saturday when our stream starts. We're going till 9 a.m. on Sunday, and then community streams pick back up. It's going to be real good. It's going to be real fun. Come hang out with us. Going to be shenanigans. Going to be us.
It's
Yeah, I don't know.
it's one of those things
I
where
don't know.
every year I look forward to and both dread Extra Life. And I don't dread it because of the time commitment. I dread it because of what it does to my body, my soul, and mostly my bowels.
Yeah.
Because it's just shove everything into my mouth and party for 24 hours straight.
I
We're
love
going
that
to order
we-
so much square pie, guys.
It's for the kids,
We
ladies and
can't. It
gentlemen.
doesn't come here.
We'll get it. We'll figure it
I
out.
don't think so.
We'll
Well,
get
it goes to
Cheeks
Greg
Jr.
and
to go
Jen's
over and pick
house.
it up for us.
So we'll get it delivered to Greg and Jen.
Okay.
and
What
then
we
have
need is
Jen
we
bring
need
it over.
runners. We need people that we know and trust who aren't quite on the inner circle, but like are around the inner circle that we can tell to go to Square Pie Guys and bring it back.
I get Cheeks to do that for
we can
sure.
Convince, I bet you
Cheeks,
Becky would do it
Cheeks
for
left
us.
his sweatshirt here, so tell him if he wants his sweatshirt back, he's got to bring us pizza pies.
That sounds great.
Perfect. Yeah, it's gonna be real fun. Nick, I haven't told you this yet, but I'm putting you in charge, for better or for worse, of coming up with things for the wheel.
Oh, the wheel! I'm fine
I feel
with
like
that,
you have
The
a
tiny
gift.
torture wheel or the regular wheel?
Whatever
Would
wheel
you believe
like.
that one of the things on the wheel is going to be pet the cat?
You
I
also missed
really
the
don't like
pre-show
that.
conversation about Nick dressing up as a cat. again.
It's not me; it's my cat. What happened was
I hate
a long
this.
time ago. My mom, we had a cat named Lady. It was a black
I'm gonna
cat, and my mom
keep
just put it
going.
out, and we don't know what happened to it, and then it just came back and found me.
No. I'm gonna keep moving on. The housekeeping.
Lady the
Shout
cat.
outs to Patreon producer Al Tribesman.
Danny boy,
I thought it was
want
Alley
some
Cat.
candy? Want some candy? Well, it became an alley cat.
And David Mindell.
Mind freak.
Mindell.
Street mind freak. It
Put
doesn't
a
matter.
D in there.
Howie Mandel, David Mandel.
Mm-hmm.
Do we even have we? One day we're gonna meet the mind freak. Man, it's gonna be awesome. And I hope he started doing magic now.
He's
So he's awesome at it.
If he
Last time I
shows
meet him.
us a magic trick, even if it's okay,
I
I'm
don't
still
care
gonna
if it's
like,
the dumb
yeah.
thing that your uncle used to do, where it's like,
Yeah.
I'm like, I saw the fucking quarter in your hand, bro. But that's what I want. I want that level of
Yeah.
street magic.
I do too.
Yeah.
Also, shout outs to our sponsors today: Untitled, Escape the Invasion, and Away. But more about that later.
Woo.
Now it's time to talk about what we watched this week.
Bro. I watched.
Now we did do a show on Thursday,
Correct.
So like it was just the weekend.
So yesterday,
Yeah,
I'm trying to figure out what to watch.
sure.
Noticed that The Art of Self-Defense was on for rental. Oh my God, it's my favorite movie of the year.
I heard it was very
It's
good.
Which one is this one?
fucking great.
It-
It is a insane, basically
It's
an
got the
art
dude
film.
from Facebook in
It's
it?
got Jesse Eisenberg
That's
in it,
it.
and it's
Okay.
about a guy who gets beat up and decides to take karate. But it's a really
Karate.
weird, twisted indie art film.
Yeah.
that's a pretty much meta commentary for my entire youth, where it's like he starts taking karate because he wants to become the thing that he fears,
Right.
And then that happens, but in such a way
that happens.
but it's done in such a way where, like, when I was growing up, you'd have the Karate Kid, right, where the kid gets beat up, and then he starts taking karate and martial arts to like reclaim his dignity,
Right.
and then he beats the bully in a certain way. This is like what happens when that just keeps going, and it's fucking insane, and it just goes to a place where you're like, this is twisted, and it's really good.
I remember
Really
when
well
the
done.
trailer came out. I think I brought it on the show.
You did. We watched it on the show, and I was
and
like,
like
that
I
looks
was
awesome.
super excited for it, and like I'm very excited now that it's available for rent.
It's Jesse Eisenberg and Imogen Poots, I think is how you say her name, or Poots. And then I forget the guy who plays his sensei, but they're all great.
Who's Imogen Potts? What
Is
else?
she the one that's in Midsummer?
No,
Okay.
I don't think so.
Is she
Bear, can you bring up Imogen Poots?
Poots?
IMDb. She's awesome. And the guy that plays the sensei, I forget his name, but he's fucking amazing as well. Very well done. Loved it.
Scroll
let's
up.
see.
Let me see her face.
Need for Speed.
No, yeah, she was
No, I
in
don't- I don't
she was
know.
in some other.
She's
couple
gonna be in
other
the
indies.
Y series.
Let's see. Scroll
28
down.
weeks later.
Oh, I Kill Giants.
Is that what she was?
But
from?
who was she in I Kill Giants? So many questions.
She was in
The
Jane.
name sounds so familiar.
Yeah, I remember seeing her in one or two other things.
28
and
weeks later.
I remember really
Fright
like,
Night.
Fright Night. That's what I saw her in. She was in the remake of
V
Fright
for
Night with
Vendetta.
Anton
Vendetta.
Yelich, and she was great in that. And then Colin Farrell played the vampire. Did you ever see that? The remake
No.
of Fright Night?
I never saw the remake.
It's really
of it.
good. It's
really?
actually Fright Night is a great movie.
Yeah? I
like
First,
the
it almost made my
original one.
list today.
Whoa.
But I haven't seen it enough.
Did it? Or are you just bringing it up right now?
No, because it's a little too campy,
Uh-huh.
and I haven't watched it enough to really be like claim this is one of mine.
Yeah.
But I like Fright Night, and I actually really liked the remake as well. So anyway, I highly recommend that. I tried watching Jenny Slate's comedy special, and I couldn't get into it. Jenny Slate
Where was that? Netflix?
It's on Netflix. Jenny Slate is the woman that got kicked off of Saturday Night Live, her very first appearance, because she said fuck.
Damn.
And she's awesome, and I love her.
She's
Yeah.
like the crazy girl in Parks and Rec.
Yeah.
Yes.
It's like the sister of John Raffio.
She's awesome.
yeah.
And really, really funny. But her special was less of a comment. It's more of like 30 minutes of stand up, 30 minutes of documentary about her life, which is cool.
Interesting.
But I don't like that because I'm like, oh, I'm starting to get into this, and then it cuts to her and her grandma, and I'm like, all right.
Oh, the flow just
I don't
kind
give a
of
shit.
gets interrupted.
All right, someone didn't feel like generating 30 more minutes of material, so they decided to just shoehorn in some documentary stuff and like whatever. It's
Fun
fine.
fact: she dated Chris Evans for a while. They only like just recently broke up like a year or two ago.
Good for both of them.
I know.
You know what I mean?
It's just a couple that I like. When I learned about them being a couple, I was like, never would have imagined it.
Yeah.
But I like it.
Good for both of them. That must.
Well,
that must be
not
fun.
anymore.
That
'cause
makes
they
me
broke
wonder
up.
if Chris Evans is a lot cooler than I think.
I don't think so.
He's such like a Boston boy. I
Yeah.
don't know. I don't know if I would. I mean, he's obviously.
Well, I mean,
cool.
she seems really cool and crazy. If like, because like a lot of times her character seems very similar to the character she plays in Parks
Oh
and
no!
Rec.
If you watch her special, she's nutty.
Yeah.
She has a nutty energy. Let's put it that
Yeah,
way.
yeah, yeah.
But the opposites attract, man. Sometimes
Maybe.
maybe Chris his tall stoicness balances around.
You watch anything else good this weekend? Did you watch Watchmen?
I did. It's here's the thing. I really like the show,
Yeah.
but they've got 4 more episodes with me, max, before I go. Damon
There's only
Lindelof, go
8.
fuck yourself.
There's only 8, so
I know,
there are
but
only
it-
2 left at that point.
But I'm it's starting to meander.
Yeah.
And it's starting to put more like the thing that Lindelof does is they just start introducing story threads, and you're like, okay, you better tie this shit in real good. But he doesn't have a great track record for doing that.
Yep.
So
But
let's
it's still entertaining along the way.
well, to me, I'll watch the show as long as Regina King is the lead. She is awesome. I don't know what it is about her that I find so unbelievably fun to watch, but she just has she just commands that fucking role, and it's really, really good. And
It's I think it's a good role too. Like
It's a great
the
role.
story,
Yeah.
her life is really interesting, and like the stuff they're throwing at us.
yeah. And
like,
Louis Gossett
developing
Jr.
it
is in
further.
it. Like I like he plays the old man.
Uh-huh.
He was big in the '80s.
Yeah.
He's been in a lot of stuff. So yeah, I like it, and but I'm like 4 more episodes.
Yeah.
If I get to episode 6 and we're still introducing threads and we're not starting, I'm done with this.
Yeah, that's we were talking about earlier. I like this episode a lot. I think more than last week's episode, but I am very worried that like they're not going to have good answers for the like questions they're setting up.
And but here's my
And that's a
worry.
real
Here's-
concern for
my
me.
worry is
Yeah.
that they're setting up questions that I don't understand. I'm
Yeah.
like, what is happening in this world? What's going on? And I'm fine with it, and that's the Lost style. Like, let's question, but I need to have some answers. I don't need this to be what's the smoke monster, and then 6 seasons later we're like, we don't really know.
Yeah, that's a big concern.
It's a big concern.
Yeah.
But the show is beautifully filmed, and
Really well
Regina
filmed.
King's awesome, and the guy from Buster Scruggs is awesome.
Oh, I forgot
The whole
about
cast is
that.
awesome. the guy that plays the Red Scare,
He's the
who's
guy that plays
Mirror
the
Glass Man or something like that.
What was his name? Looking Glass. Looking
Looking Glass.
Yeah.
Fucking awesome. And the guy that
Fucking
plays
awesome.
the Red Scare, by the way,
Yeah.
it finally dawned on me who he is. I'm like, is he the bad guy from Limitless? And I looked him up. I'm like, he is the fucking bad guy from Limitless.
That is such a pull.
That's because
Yeah, yeah.
I just watched Limitless also. Like I saw him, I was like, wait a minute, that voice, and because you never see his face.
Right,
I looked him
right.
up. Yeah, he's like the weird Russian drug dealer,
Right, yeah.
money loaner guy. Anyway, I love it. The other show I watched right afterward, and I was gonna wait. I'm gonna wait for all of them to queue up because it's the last season. But I watched. I was like, I gotta do it. Watch Silicon Valley, the first episode.
Ooh.
It's off to a start.
Yeah. I enjoyed it. I don't like what's happening with it's the weird guy's name, Jared, where it's like I don't like this. I don't like him pulling away.
I thought it was endearing.
Yeah.
I like it because he
I thought
realizes
the
his
end-
role is to be the muse for the
Yeah.
next tech person. That's what his role is. And when he no longer has that role anymore, it's like sad when they like relegate him to like being over in the other places and the other conferences.
Sure, but I also thought it was like weird and sad, like that, like at the end where he's like talking to that new person in that house, and it's like,
No, he wants to go back to that.
I know,
Everything
I
else
get
is
it,
too
I
big.
get
It's
it.
gotten too. He doesn't. That's not his world anymore.
Yeah.
He wants to be in the small incubator. He wants to help that startup person
Yeah.
realize their dream. I think it's awesome. That's
I mean,
great. I just wish
does he,
that was
or
like.
is he just like weirdly obsessed with the main dude? What's his name?
Well, I like how he was talking to his therapist. In the
Yeah. He's like, well, I have to talk with you. It's court mandated.
mandated.
That was his delivery is so
He's
good.
the best.
And I know that Tim doesn't like what Jin Yang.
Jin Yang's fucking brilliant.
I
Tim's
love
crazy.
Jin Yang
By the
so
way,
much.
Jimmy O Yang's at Cobb's this weekend, next week.
Oh, really?
Yeah, the guy that plays Jin Yang, Jimmy O Yang.
Is
his
his
name.
stand up good? Like,
I've never seen him. I met him at Punchline once. He's a real
Yeah.
nice guy.
I'd be 100% down to go see it.
Yeah, let me know.
Yeah.
I could probably sneak us into the 9:45 show. He's
Yeah?
got like 2 shows a night. He's so smart because the second Silicon Valley hits, he goes on tour. He's making money.
Makes a lot of sense.
Good
That's the
for
thing
him.
to do, man.
But he was a nice guy. And I think, I don't care what Tim says because
Yeah.
Tim has horrible taste. We all appreciate this. Jin Yang is fucking, in this trailer where he's like, are you doing something illegal in here? Tell me the truth. And he's like, yes.
I love that he's never lied.
No, he doesn't give a fuck.
He's always like, no.
New Pied Piper.
Piper.
It's so good.
Yeah.
It's so good.
Yeah, but I enjoyed it, and I like that, like, it wasn't, hey, here's the issue, here's the solution, let's move on to the next episode, where it feels like now there's like, oh, there's an ongoing issue that, like, it hopefully it takes the entire season to, like, figure out the solution.
Well, I love the character that plays the guy that's like the World of Warcraft guy.
Yeah.
The Call of Cthulhu or Gululu, whatever it is,
Yeah.
who's like, you just can't touch him.
Yeah.
Because he's like, we got you, fucker. And he realizes this is
He's
we're
like,
gonna
this
make
is
so
amazing
much money
algorithm,
on
yeah.
this. Yeah. He's like, damn it. Anyway, we just spoiled the entire episode for everyone. But it's funny. And I will say the one thing that I still miss TJ Miller's energy on the show, even though I know he's crazy and we
Poor
don't
guy.
want him anymore. But
I mean,
miss him,
he did
and
like a bomb scare, right?
he had some issues. He had some
Yeah.
he was going through some shit and also was accused of some shit. So I'm sure that was a very interesting time in his life. But Kumail, it's so funny to watch him on the show because you're like, you're fucking huge now.
He's, like, jacked.
It's both. Like, his career's huge and he also got jacked.
Got so jacked.
He's all pumped up, man. He's a little fucking pumped up dude, just getting in there, fucking doing the do.
There was one more show that came on HBO that I checked out.
Mrs.
Fletcher.
How is that? I want to watch that.
The first episode is very, like, slow and kind of building up that her life sucks.
Yeah, but she
What's
like
the
gets into
premise?
kinky shit, right? It's
Yeah, so the premise is
it's a limited series.
I love those.
First off, so it's not going to keep going on. It's what's her name?
I feel like they say limited series and then they're like, oh, second season of the limited
Yeah,
series.
right.
Yeah.
It's
like
Catherine Hahn.
Han, yes.
Yeah.
Oh, I love her.
Yeah, she's
fucking
fantastic.
Is she a teacher?
hilarious.
So yeah, she is. No, she like. I think she's like takes care of like an elderly home, and her like son turns 18, is going to college.
Okay.
So she's at home alone, and it's about her like.
So I'll read the thing. A
Figuring it out.
divorced woman jumpstarts her love life by adopting a sexy new persona and discovers that her world is full of unexpected and sometimes complicated erotic possibilities.
Oh.
And
But the first episode had very little or none of that.
Not
and
as sexy
it
as you'd
also
hope it
didn't
would be.
have any of the humor that I was hoping for.
Yeah.
'Cause
Which is so her.
Yeah, she's so funny, and it's such a dry humor. But this was a totally different side where this is like quality acting, where she was very much like somber and depressed the whole
Yeah.
time, and you kind of see it's all build up so like that when I'm sure crazy shit comes
Yeah.
in the future, it's like all like, oh, this is why.
it reminds me of Bill Hader doing Barry.
Yeah.
Where it's a weird, like he's taking a step back and doing a more serious role, but because he has that sense of comedic timing, it adds to it.
Yeah.
Where you're like, this is adding to the fucked up quirkiness of this whole thing. That's what I'm expecting.
That's
out
a
of
great
this.
call. Like
Yeah.
that very much feels that same tone where it takes a little while for me to get into the character. It
Yeah.
took like half a season for me to be like, I don't know if Barry's good, and then it was like, oh, I enjoy Barry.
Oh, it is
The
good.
second season's so good.
Oh, yeah, Barry's
Yeah.
great. Barry's like
Barry's so
legit
good.
one of the best shows on TV. Catherine Hahn, I remember seeing her recently because
Parks
I
and
went
Rec.
back and watched it. Not Parks and Rec. I saw her in a movie called The Goods with Jeremy
Oh,
Piven,
I
with her car
almost watched
salesman.
that, yeah.
And she is so fucking funny in this. It's her and she plays one of the car salesmen.
Yeah.
But she's in love with fucking what's the guy's name from 21 Jump Street? Where he's like, I don't like that. Put that back in your mouth. Put the big guy who's like, this is gonna. What's his name?
That guy. God,
He's in. I'll find it. Sorry, we can move on. Anyway,
Rob Riggle.
Rob Riggle.
Yeah.
She falls in love with
Thanks,
Rob Riggle, but he's got the disease where he's only 10 years old, but he's aged.
Oh, shit.
And so she's like conflicted because he looks like a 30-year-old man and he's gorgeous, but he's only 10, and so she keeps trying to fuck him. It's terrible.
Oh my God.
But it's so funny because they're like,
Yeah.
they're all friends, they're all homies.
Sure.
Like, anyway. go
Why is
watch
she
that
friends
movie.
with a 10-year-old?
Well, no, because they're all like friends, like in real life.
Oh, got it.
So it's
got
like
it,
if we
yeah.
all got together
Right,
and made
right,
just
right,
a horribly inappropriate comedy.
Yeah,
So, like,
yeah,
it's
I
nice.
saw that.
It's
It
basically
was
what we do.
also on
Every day in the
HBO Go,
office.
and I was like, should we watch this? And I was like, I don't know.
100%.
All right, well,
if you,
it's on my
I mean,
list now.
depending on where your read is on Jeremy Piven these days, because he's pretty much a polarizing person, because he got accused of a bunch of crazy shit too. Him notwithstanding, everyone else in the movie is a great cast, and
I
it's
feel like I'm
actually
pretty sold
funny
on
movie.
just Han and Riggle.
Yeah.
At
Yeah.
this point.
Well,
Yeah.
it's a lot of Piven, but yeah.
Okay.
I'm still
get
a
there.
fan of Jeremy Piven's work, but him personally, like whatever. Like,
Joey,
Yeah.
what did you watch this last weekend?
Man, I haven't been around in a while.
Uh-huh.
I've had a lot of free time, so I haven't watched a ton of stuff. I caught up on The Good Place,
Oh,
which I'm always a fan of.
you liking
Yes.
I really like this season. I think it's an interesting twist on things. There's a lot of interesting relationship dynamics. I like some of the new characters they brought in and how they affect the current crew. I caught up on my other favorite or my other guilty pleasure, which is 911 on Fox with
Oh my
Jennifer
God.
Love Hewitt
with
and
Jennifer and the guy from 6 Feet Under
yeah, slash the guy
and
from
Angela
Parenthood.
Bassett.
Uh-huh.
Yeah.
It's real good.
That show looks like
is
one
it
of those.
good? I don't know,
No,
but it's fun to watch in the background on a Tuesday night.
Does every show have to again? You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
some shows just have to be good bad.
And I feel like
Or you're like,
a
this
lot
is
of the
candy.
shows I like are
Free
the good
finger
bad.
movie review.
Of course. You can't watch.
Because they're fun.
Dude, I can't
Not
watch
all
like
of the good
intense
movies
shows
are
all
always
the time.
fun.
You got to just take a step back and be like, this is dumb.
Yeah.
Sometimes I walk in and I watch my wife like watching How to Get Away with Murder or like Grey's
haven't-
Anatomy, and I'm
yeah.
like, these shows are so bad. But she just shoots me that look like, I don't fuck with you when you're watching Psych.
does
So
though.
get out. I
Yeah.
don't know. She just leaves
Or
the
like
room
the
now.
14th Pauly Shore movie of the weekend.
Son-in-law's the bomb, dude. How dare you?
In the Army now is
Polly.
fantastic.
It's a great movie.
And then the other thing I've been catching up on, which doesn't kind of fit but does, is Shane Dawson's new series on YouTube about Jeffree Star. Are you a big Shane Dawson fan?
No, but Mr. Yes Man in the chat just reminded me of the other movie I watched that I wanted to talk about. That surprised you? I was like, yes, I've been with Shane
I was
Dawson since
really
day one.
confused. I
No,
was like,
I couldn't
this
give
was-
10
was
shits about
not
Shane Dawson. I'm sure he's-
expecting it.
He makes great content.
It's great
Sure.
long
Yeah.
form YouTube
Yeah,
content.
very long form.
So this one is on Jeffree Star, who started as like a MySpace music guy and now is like a makeup mogul. So he's they
That's
kind
not
of
the guy that
take him
got in
through
trouble, was it?
I don't think so.
Okay, it was a different makeup guy. Wasn't there there's a makeup guy a while back?
Oh,
got
that was
in trouble?
James Charles.
Oh yeah.
So yeah, they
trouble's
filmed this.
like a weird word. He got in controversy and
Why?
then probably
Yeah.
got way more subscribers from it.
Yeah.
No, I mean that was very controversial, right? But ended up like him being like, I have proof of, like that this didn't go down the way.
Yeah, we
Yeah,
can
it's
move
still
on.
Doesn't
all
matter. Let's
gray.
move on.
But they filmed this like 6 months ago and they go through the process of like the beauty industry and all this stuff. And then they're doing a collab palette in the thing that they're launching now. But just hearing them talk about how much money you can make in the makeup industry.
Dude, that's why
When you
every
have
single
the fan
and
base that they
just
have.
his cut is going to be something like $12 million he's
dude,
going to walk
people,
away with.
you don't understand. Like, there's a reason why every actor or actress rather has a fragrance brand, and they all want to get to be. Dude, that's how fucking what's her name made all of her money. The Jenner, Kylie, right?
No, she's makeup, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
she's like
No.
a billionaire because of that shit.
It's crazy.
It's wild. So it's been really fun to watch. The next two
Should we
parts
start a
drop
makeup
today
brand
and
right
tomorrow.
now?
Oh my gosh, I would.
I don't think we have the following for it.
Yeah, I don't know. Third Love
We
really
barely
likes
have the
our
following
ad
to keep
reads,
the lights on in this place.
So yeah, it's just been interesting. I like Shane Dawson stuff. He did the TanaCon thing.
He did the TanaCon thing, and you know what's funny is Shane Dawson to me has always been one of those guys that I'm like, this is not for me. Obviously, like
Yeah.
I'm not his target audience, a 40-year-old man. But the TanaCon thing, I think, was where he turned a corner because I remember him making a movie that was like a lot of people were like, this is not a very good movie because he put it out on iTunes and made a ton of money on it, and then. I think he turned a corner where I think he found what he's really good at, which
Yeah,
is like
those documentaries,
basically
yeah.
getting into that really deep dive documentary stuff.
Yeah.
So
but
kudos
it's
to
all
him.
the
They're
like
so
the
long.
YouTube drama kind of
Yeah.
vibe too.
I should-
TanaCon, Jake Paul.
Oh yeah, that's great.
Jeffree Star is controversial, but I don't remember why.
Racist comments, I believe.
Yeah, there we go.
Yeah, there you go. The other movie I watched over the weekend, Dolomite Is My Name.
Oh, I watched that too, and I forgot to write it down. Good job bringing it up.
But I thought you could thank Mr. Yasman in that
Yeah.
for spamming the chat. It was great.
Yeah,
I
it was
loved
good.
it.
Yeah.
Is it on Netflix now?
It's on Netflix.
Okay.
It had a limited run for a while, I think, because they want to try to get it some
In
Academy
theaters.
attention.
Yeah. Very limited, I think.
Yeah, I think it was like
It's
in
It's probably
San
the
Francisco
same run
for
that The
a week.
Irishman is doing.
Yeah,
That'd
it's
be my
super
guess.
minimal stuff where
Netflix,
it's like,
yeah, they're doing that thing again. Where like we're gonna pick 3 movies we think has a good chance
Yeah.
of doing it, and we're gonna go out there. So, I fucking loved it, and it was so refreshing to see Eddie Murphy have a return to form. Mm-hmm. And by return to form, I mean take the fucking like take the reins off and make a rated R comedy and make it mean something and bury yourself in the role. And he was very vulnerable, and like it's about how he's like, you know, he's got those moments where he's like, they're like, who is this overweight guy that's trying to be a sex symbol and stuff like that? And I think he nailed the character, and I think he did that character, that comedian justice. I didn't know Dolomite was a comic.
Yeah, I didn't either.
I didn't know anything about.
I didn't know anything
Rudy Ray
about,
Moore.
yeah.
I had no idea that was like a persona.
Yeah.
I thought it was just a movie that this guy starred in.
Yeah.
So I didn't know that he had started the whole that whole thing himself.
Did it not stress you out a whole bunch? Though?
Oh, yeah.
Because it like, oh man, everything going wrong constantly and them constantly running out of money while they're making this movie was such a like, for me of like, oh God, this is such a real thing. People can experience this. Yeah.
I mean, that's what people do. And what's funny is that it's interesting to see that story because that's not the only time you've ever seen that story, right? The closest analog I have to that in our life is watching Kevin Smith go through that in the 90s where he ran out of money and maxed out a bunch of credit cards and was like, I don't know how I'm going to ever recoup this. There's something about believing in yourself to that much, like to that extent, and throwing yourself into that wholeheartedly that I just find so unbelievable because I don't have that in me.
Yeah.
There's nothing in me that would be like, risk everything for this. I'd be like, no, I don't have anything. I'm not good enough for that. But he was just like, I believe in this. I know I can do this. I know people want it. And there's one line in the movie where the people that are he's trying to get funding from the movie, they were like, normally if you're going to make a movie, you'd have to be a lot bigger than just a local star in this one little like ghetto.
Yeah.
And he goes, what you guys don't understand is this ghetto is everywhere. Like there's a ghetto in every city like this in America. And I think people are going to respond to this. And the guys just didn't get it. And it's crazy to have that level of like foresight and vision.
Well, when it starts and he's like, I want to like, I'm feeling really happy. Like this, I think this is the first time he does the Dolomite persona.
Yeah,
and he
which is
like
cool.
is very successful. He got a big chunk of like tips and stuff, and he's taking all his friends out to like go and watch a movie because he's like, I want to be excited, I want to be happy. He's like, this movie is getting great reviews, and then they go and the humor's not for them. They're all just sitting there being like, this is what's. You know, and that's contrasted with the scene where they're reading the reviews for Dolomite,
right?
And it's like, oh man, no one's gonna go watch this movie, and then they go and God, the ending.
People didn't get it. The critics didn't get it because the critics were like, the critics were used to a specific type of comedy back then, which was not his comedy. I really liked it, and kudos to Eddie Murphy and the team for that, and kudos to like great cast.
Yeah,
I
absolutely.
thought, what's his name? Keenan
Thompson?
No, Key Peele. What's
Peele, right?
Keenan Michael Key.
Keenan Michael Key. Thank you. I always want to call him Key and Peele, but
yeah, that's
two different
that's two people. Yeah,
I thought he did a great job, and I thought Wesley Snipes did a great job.
Really good job.
Director.
Where at the end I was like, I don't like Wesley Snipes, but like I like
he comes back. He's like, there's not going to be a premiere. I'm never seeing you people again.
Well, yeah, well, like, don't be back to say that.
Yeah, it was so funny, but definitely worth it, and it just reminds you that like Eddie Murphy has been hibernating in these PG roles for a real long time, and I like Shrek as much as the next person, but fucking A, start making rated R comedies again because we need them. That's my final word on that.
Yeah.
I'm excited.
I
want
enjoyed
to.
it as
It's
well.
on my list. I didn't
Very
know it
well
had made it to Netflix yet. I thought it was.
I
Still...
wish it was paced a little faster.
I didn't mind it.
Yeah.
Because I think that it really gave you time to understand and empathize with the character.
Yeah.
And empathize with the guy who was like, as a person who's getting older in his life and is still chasing after more and more creative endeavors. Like I was like, I saw a lot of myself in the character that's like, I haven't quite done the thing that I know I can do yet. Which I think as an artist, you always kind of feel that way. But him starting in the role that he was at, and for Eddie Murphy to play that, like, it's so cool because it's a real role. And I mean that in like, to contrast that with some of the other big celebrities out there right now that wouldn't necessarily bury themselves in that character, in a character that starts off as like an assistant manager to a record store. And that first scene where he's trying to get his record played on the radio, but you don't realize it's not a real radio. It's like
it's just the
store. It's just the store. Like that stuff is spoiler. Sorry, is so crazy. And then realizing that like a lot of people. The other thing that I thought was fascinating was like Snoop Dogg being in it. And Snoop Dogg was in it for a reason because they had taken some of the. Well, he kind of credits Rudy Ray Moore for putting that level of like lyrical poetry over music.
Yeah.
And a lot of
they
people
say
go
that
like,
at the end.
Yeah, they were like, he's actually one of the person,
the grandfather of rap.
Yeah. Because he started doing the Dolomite thing, and it was rhyming, and he was doing, and it was like raunchy and crazy, but it was a sign of the times over music. And people were like, "Oh, that's interesting. That's cool." And then it evolved into like the hip hop of the late '70s and early '80s. It's pretty cool.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Excuse me, mid to late '80s and then early '90s.
But overall, some great acting, and the story like isn't like really enjoyable. Like the ending, like I really really liked.
Lexi was asking how long is it on Netflix. I'm pretty sure it's going to be on Netflix indefinitely.
I believe it was made by
Yeah. It's Netflix, so you should watch it. Definitely, it's awesome. Watch it tonight.
Also,
Watch that, and then watch the Art of Self-Defense. Actually, watch the Art of Self-Defense first, and then watch Dolomite, because you'll need to pick me up after the Art of Self-Defense.
I really want to watch it. Where'd you rent it on? Just Amazon or?
Comcast. I just
Okay,
rented it on here,
okay,
but I think it's available everywhere.
Yeah.
You can probably
That's been on my list for a while. All right, last thing
Yeah.
we want to talk about, things that we've watched. We actually watched this, like 2 weeks ago?
2 weeks, yeah, like a while ago.
Jojo Rabbit.
Holy shit.
What
So
a great
good.
goddamn movie.
Yeah, it's really good. If you have a chance to see it, I know that they're doing like a weird kind of rollout release for it.
According to the paperwork that I got, because we saw it early as a screener, the official release date was the 25th. Mm-hmm. Which we did the show on the 24th, so we couldn't talk about it till the 25th, and now we're talking about it because I love this goddamn movie.
It is so
phenomenal. It starts out, I want to say, very cartoonish,
Yeah.
and like way over the top, where we have a little kid like throwing a grenade that bounces back and like blows up in front of him. It doesn't kill him, but it like scars him, and that kind of kicks off the story. Then it slowly becomes more and more serious, where at the end, there's still a lot of serious moments that are happening,
Yeah.
contrasted with very
It's such a good
comedic
balance.
moments that are so well balanced.
Yeah.
I cannot recommend this movie enough.
Yeah.
It is one of my favorite movies of the year, for sure.
Yeah, we walked out and I was like, ooh, yeah, that's definitely going to be in my top 5 for sure.
Yeah.
Everybody in it was great. A lot of the 3 like child actors are really, really good.
Really, really good. Sam Rockwell.
Who doesn't love Sam Rockwell?
Who doesn't love
so
ScarJo?
good.
Who doesn't love Taika? Like
Yeah.
the cast is great.
It's-
Stephen Merchant is in
Yeah.
it.
Steve Merchant's a bad motherfucker.
So like it's such a good cast, a great story. The way that they tie things together is really good.
What's great is
I
watching
loved
that troupe of like Taika's people,
Yeah.
and they've done so many things together. Like, or he has that style. That's
I
just
feel like
so
this troupe is slightly like
good.
It's so different from his normal group of people.
Well,
that he likes.
Merchant's
He's a
Ricky
Gervais
Gervais
guy.
guy. But they have very similar styles. And when you guys started talking about that, it reminded me that I started watching Extras again over the weekend. So fucking funny. So funny. So dry. I can't wait to watch this movie. I'm jelly that you guys have seen it.
It's so good. Legitimately, it's like it's sad, but like it's really like an intense time in the world,
course.
and it's a totally, I think, like a perspective I haven't seen before. Like following this kid who's in the Nazi youth and like has been indoctrinated in this world, and like all this propaganda is being thrown apart as it slowly comes apart. Like, 'cause it's towards the end of the war when like Germany is being like they're losing.
Yeah.
And it's clear to everyone, and like we
the
see
propaganda machine is in full
Yeah.
effect. We're like,
Yeah.
well, we're fine.
Yeah,
Keep going,
exactly.
keep
We're
going.
fine. We're
You're like,
fine.
no, we're not.
But like
Yeah.
we see adults like be like, no, this is over. We've almost
lost,
lost. Yeah, and it's just so interesting to see like them dive so deeply into it.
It's
Yeah.
it's fascinating because Taika picks obviously great projects, and the idea of playing in that world is fascinating, and it's hard. That's not an easy thing to do as a filmmaker,
No.
right? Is to make a little kid who is going through the the Hitler Youth program sympathetic. And like,
Totally.
and then having his best friend be Adolf Hitler, like, or his imaginary friend
best
be
friend,
Adolf
yeah.
Hitler, is like, man, that is a thin line between this could be great or this could be just not work at all.
Yeah.
But I think Taika is
I think
really,
it
really
works
fucking.
so
He's at the
well.
top of his game
Yeah.
right now.
Totally.
Yeah.
Wasted Bandwidth in the chat says Rebel Wilson is funny for the first time in a while. IMO.
Hey,
I feel like they.
hey, whoa.
No,
We
No,
will
Nick, you're-
not
you're-
speak
you're
badly
in the
of
wrong
Rebel
on this
Wilson
one.
Yes,
in this
we
house.
will.
No.
Melissa McCarthy and Rebel Wilson
Oh,
will not
man.
speak badly of.
I do not
Okay.
subscribe to that.
Yeah, no, you're the only one on that boat, and it is sinking.
Rebel Wilson.
They
She-
use
she
her.
was-
They use her the perfect amount in this, in my opinion.
Yeah.
Where it's like enough. That
Any
you
more
get a
would have
good
been
little
annoying.
taste.
I know you didn't like Isn't It Romantic? It's not her best movie, but
No.
she's funny in it.
I didn't hate it
What
as
is
much
her
as I
best
hated
movie?
as much as I hated The Hustle.
The Hustle was terrible.
was
Oh, I almost watched that this weekend. and
Don't.
Dee was like, "Should we watch this?" I'm like,
No.
"No."
It's
Joey
so
hated it
bad.
so much that
was
we can't
real
watch
bad.
it. She's great in, like, she's great in as the side characters
Yep.
and stuff.
She's great
She
as
was
like
great
the
in,
Catherine Hahn character.
Bridesmaids. Did you ever see that?
No,
So she plays in Bridesmaids. It's a great movie.
You've never seen Bridesmaids?
no. I feel like every
I
time
think you really
say
like
this,
it. It's
comes
a really
up.
good
Yeah,
movie.
no,
It's
I've
so
heard
good.
good
Paul
things.
Feig's probably best movie.
I don't like Paul Feig.
But this one
so
works.
good.
Yeah?
Because this is less, it's more of a serious movie that has comical elements. Well, that's not fair. It's 50-50, but
Yeah.
it's got a lot of heart to it. And the
Yeah.
character is really well written.
Did he direct it or he write it?
I think both.
Okay.
Kristen
Yeah.
Kristen Wiig. But anyway, her roommates are brother and sister, and they're like weirdly like look exactly the same, but they're not twins. I can't remember. And one of
Yeah.
them is Rebel Wilson, and the other guy that plays her brother is hilarious. Yeah, I don't know his name, but anyway, I thought she was great in that. I think she's
Oh
hilarious.
yeah,
Looking
that
at
was
her
her
fucking
breakout
Yeah.
role, and I like her in
And
Pitch
first off,
Perfect.
Pitch
and stuff
Perfect,
like
yeah.
that.
Yeah. Pitch Perfect. She's great.
She's phenomenal. But again, not the main character. She
Right.
needs to sort of be. I think she.
Same in Jojo Rabbit.
Yeah.
She's not the main character.
Yeah.
She's a side character that we like
Yeah.
get little glimpses at, and like is really like, oh man, you are so into the lies of this
Yeah.
world.
Yep.
Yeah.
Who? Someone else. Sorry, I can't find it. Oh, Show Not Found says he's talking about Taika as like the Kiwi version of Wes Anderson, which I don't disagree with at all.
I think
It
it's
has a
more
very similar-
self-aware than Wes Anderson.
But the
is.
aesthetic, at least of this one, I feel
Yeah,
is
it's.
like,
I mean, when you watch this, you're like, they're definitely somebody watched Wes Anderson. They watched
Yeah.
Moonrise Kingdom, and they were like, let's make that movie, but with Nazis.
What's crazy is that like with Wes Anderson movies, I feel like a lot of time that aesthetic is the world. Like it doesn't dive. Like it's very realistic to that world where it's like if something's going wrong, like the hero's gonna come in and like say save everyone in the last second, and it like fits in. Where this like it starts out and there's so much like crazy things that are happening that are so cartoonish that like it kind of like you don't exactly understand what's going to happen. And I think it does a decent job of throwing things out there where it's like, oh shit, this is super serious.
Yeah.
And like changes the tone of the whole movie.
Yeah.
But like it does it very well.
Well, I mean, I imagine I haven't seen it yet, but I
Yeah.
imagine that was who he was going for, right? When you have a character,
Absolutely.
when you have a main character who's a boy and he has an imaginary character that's Adolf Hitler, at some point that movie's going to get real.
Yeah.
Well, Wes Anderson movies don't ever do that. Wes Andersons are
Right.
they're like
That's what I'm saying. It stays in
they're,
that
they're
fantasy.
surreal
Yeah.
the entire time,
Yeah.
but for a reason, and that's just the style. It's like reading a kid's book,
Right.
Which is good.
Right.
you
Yeah.
know?
But it's interesting to see that style
Yeah.
being used and then divulging where things become real. Where it's not like in Moonrise Kingdom when like the dude's in the
Lighthouse.
crazy tower and like doesn't fall off to his death. You know.
Yeah. To be fair though, if someone says, "Hey, if you're being compared to Wes Anderson in a good way," yeah, that's fine. It's good.
Yeah. Absolutely.
You know, if someone says, "Hey, you
Absolutely, yeah.
nailed the Wes Anderson style," like fucking thanks, man, because he's awesome.
And another place that I really feel like this movie shines, where I haven't seen Taika Waititi's movies quite shine this way, is I feel like a lot of shots are beautiful and really well thought out. Like there's a lot of moments where they're like introducing slow-mo, and it's very much all on purpose. Where I don't think I
he
can
did
say
that a lot in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, but like movies, I guess the other one was like What We Do in the Shadows, where it's
Yeah.
like
Ugh.
that movie
Different.
is
Fucking good.
very
Yeah, it's very
funny,
different.
but it's not shot like super well, you know. Like,
No,
and that's not to take away from it.
It was definitely lower budget
Yeah.
for sure.
Yeah.
But and I'm so bummed that they're turning. I wanted them to do a sequel movie. I know that I think it's going to be a series now
Yeah.
There's supposed
Is it
to be a sequel
effects?
movie.
called We're Wolves, right?
Yeah, We're Wolves.
But I don't think they're doing
But
it
there
anymore.
is a series that's that is.
It's
not a
happening right now,
continuation.
right?
Yeah.
What is the guy that was the wolf in that movie? What's his name?
I don't remember.
Fuck.
Well, I don't remember
I
that. either.
always forget his name, and
But
I
the
think he's
series
one of the
is not
funniest
bad.
comedic actors working right now.
The series is not bad at all, and I recommend it.
Oh, it's
Yeah.
out?
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
Oh,
So
shit.
it's out, and the first season's done.
Oh, okay. I didn't
Yeah.
know that. Reese Darby, thank you,
yeah.
Titan Meter. Petey Popoff
Oh,
also
Reese Darby.
mentions, just to go back, to the Grand Budapest Hotel gets really very real at the end as well. Yeah, it does.
That's
It
true.
does. That's true.
Yeah.
But as like
But
as like
it's
a
still the same-
post credit
Yeah.
text thing.
Yeah.
Right? Where it's like we don't really
Well, I think at the end is
No,
him
even
telling
at
the story.
even at the end when you realize the man telling the story is also Zero and all that stuff, like that gets very like depressing and sad at the end, and it's a very real moment. But to be fair, those moments in those types of movies from Wes Anderson are very few and
far between.
Yeah, absolutely.
and they're usually held until the very end of the movie. It's like a lot of comedic build up to a kind of guttural punch at the end, which is what
Although
he's more known for.
Well, I will say that Life Aquatic, having gone back and watched that, like I think
forever.
6-7 months ago, very depressing.
Oh yeah,
What?
absolutely.
I love that movie so
no,
much.
It's
Yeah.
a great
good movie,
movie.
yeah.
But the main character is like,
Oh, he's like super broken. I mean,
Yeah.
but like for multiple
Very
reasons,
broken,
because
yeah.
you know it's a story about a dude that like had an amazing career and then just kind of gotten comfortable in the fame of
Yeah,
it,
yeah.
and like his team handles all that stuff. And what happens when like you lose your best friend / like doer guy that like handles everything. You know,
Sad
I
Panda.
love Life Aquatic.
It's a great movie.
But like I wouldn't say like I feel like the ending is like the opposite where it doesn't get serious and like they all come to make a decision of like let's let this thing live. Like it's not about revenge, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, Jojo Rabbit, I cannot recommend enough. You should definitely go watch it if
Yeah.
it's like screening by your house somewhere.
Yeah.
So good.
Really quick before we get into the next segment, I watched BoJack Horseman season 6 part 1 on Friday night.
It's the final season, right?
It's the first half of
Right.
the final season. The second half comes out in January, I believe. Yeah, that season's fucking dark and it gets very real. There's a interesting point where I think they focused just on like one character for each episode for like the first half, and I think that's just to kind of like bring us back to see where these people are at a couple months after the events of the end of the season 5. I don't know if this is as good as season 5. I think season 5 is like really, really goes places that I think hasn't like been successfully like done in other TV shows. But the first episode of season 6 and the kind of last episode, the cliffhanger that it ends on, are just fucking phenomenal. And there's a episode that gets very real about how to handle, like, how people realistically handle depression, and not in like the crazy way that BoJack does it, but just in like the kind of day-to-day doing your stuff at home, like whatnot. It's very depressing, and I watched all 8 episodes in a row, and that was a bad choice, but I really enjoyed it. So I recommend watching BoJack Horseman season 6.
I think I've watched the first 3 seasons, and I really want to jump back in.
I just queued it up on my Netflix. Finally,
Yeah?
I watched the little preview that came with it, the trailer, and I was like, all right,
Yeah.
this is a show for me.
Yeah.
Sorry, I just laughed at Joy because I was talking shit about her in the chat.
Why? Stop talking to the chat.
Season 5 is where it's like, holy shit, I did
so
not
much.
expect this show to go to like these dark corners of his brain. And yeah, it's a phenomenal show.
I guess now it's time for some quick news.
News.
Our first story, really, like, these are all like very short stories, so we can get our main topic. But Stranger Things season 4 unlikely to premiere till after summer of 2020, which is a bummer because it sounds like it's not even gonna.
That's over a year after season 3, right?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, all those kids are. That's probably scheduling, I imagine.
I imagine it's a scheduling and also
Wolfhard's
like
a bunch of
they're
stuff right
full
now?
like developing the story and like take your time.
Take your time.
Make this because season 3 I fucking loved. Yeah, it doesn't.
Kids all go to high school or whatever. Great. Good.
We'll
Or
begin
college.
shooting January and will likely wrap in August of 2020. So it's like
They could have
there's
it rolled
no
out
chance.
They'll have it rolled out by Halloween.
You think so?
Probably.
That's so quick.
2 months.
And like
in
this
post?
is very
Yeah.
visually heavy.
Yeah,
like
you're
a
right.
very visually heavy show. But like
Did
that's
season 1 come out like in the winter? It was Christmas, right? Because of the lights
What
and
the
stuff.
fuck was it?
yeah.
So maybe they go
yeah,
back
no,
to
I
that?
think it was winter. No,
I want to say it was Halloween time.
it was winter, then
or
Halloween.
maybe November.
No, because it was this year.
No,
No,
season 1.
Oh, season 1.
And then
sorry.
it took 1 year break, right? And
When
then we got
did the
season
last
3.
season come out?
It was 4th of July.
Yeah, that's
4th
right.
of July, yeah.
I'm fine with
And
it.
that was also follows the show.
It could be a Christmas time thing or like a
Oh,
New Year's time thing.
interesting.
Just,
First
you know what?
time.
Take your
Yeah,
time
season
with
one
the
was
Duffer
July
Brothers.
15th.
Wait, what?
Season 1 was July 15th.
Oh, they've always been
2016.
summer,
Oh,
huh?
interesting. Well, no, it was definitely season 2 was definitely
Season
October.
2 was October 27th, and then season 3
Three
is
was-
July.
You have to
24th.
imagine that they're trying their best to keep this on a Halloween schedule, but
If this show wants to take its time, I'm fine to wait.
Yeah.
With season 3 being as good as it was, like I'm down to wait and get more. Let's move on to our next story. HBO Max will be free to HBO subscribers, but only if you have AT&T. Just wanted to put this out there
Interesting.
for people. Like,
Fuck
if
you,
Yeah, I
HBO.
know it sucks, man. Like, god damn it, AT&T sucks.
you know, I'm on Verizon, which means I get Disney Plus.
Yeah, it's
What
true for
up?
a year.
What
What
up?
is it, AT&T phone or AT&T cable?
Cable.
Okay.
Let me double check that.
I'm sure
though.
it's well, it might be phone
The streaming.
because Disney's
Because
doing
now
the Verizon
it's like
thing.
it's all mixed
It's
up.
all
so
the
who
same shit. It's a
the fuck
streaming
knows?
service. Yeah.
It just says AT&T customers will get HBO Max for free.
I
Maybe it's
wouldn't-
for anything, but only if they already subscribe for already HBO subscribers. So no, it is the DirecTV or whatever it's called.
Yeah.
Interesting.
Universe.
And you already have to be paying for the HBO subscription. So it's like, is that free? Or are
So
they
this
now
is going to
combining
benefit a very small
very
percentage
small
of people.
percent? What's
That
crazy
sounds
to me is that like
Great.
this isn't like they're not trying to add on all the other HBO like subscribers.
You would think if you had Go or Now,
Uh-huh.
they would make some sort of bundle or maybe give it to you free. Mm-hmm. But
Yeah, so Warner Media is giving its 10 million AT&T customers who already subscribe for HBO either through pay TV or HBO Now free access to HBO Max when it launches. I mean, doesn't it just make sense to get rid of like HBO Go and HBO Now
And just merge it all into
have
one?
HBO Max?
I mean, if they can get
know the
people to
difference
pay for
between Now and
both.
Go, I'll be honest with you.
The
One of
Now and
them's-
Go, it's
One's
this-
like one's you can
one's
stream if
Go-
you have the account, and Go's like you just have to have.
No. Now you pay for it. It's like a $10 service,
Right.
and HBO Go is like, okay, you've got Comcast and you pay for it,
But you
so
can
get
also stream
HBO
it.
Go account. Yeah,
Yeah.
you can stream it.
Crazy.
Apparently tomorrow we get official plans for HBO Max
Great.
announcements.
I'm excited to hear what price points they will come at. They
Did you
better
see
be
that?
low because everyone else is.
There was an article. I don't know if you have it in here, but there was an article where Netflix is backing off comedy specials.
Oh no, I did not see
Yeah,
that.
so they were like, evidently they were like, we're gonna pull back because the comedy specials for Netflix is really easy and like,
Yeah.
like relatively, I don't want to say cheap, but like,
I mean, it
not
is cheap,
production
though. I mean,
intensive
yeah,
way
like,
of getting
yeah.
in celebrities and having their faces be there. And so I guess they're gonna pull back on that because they've been paying people like $20 million special, and then they got to work.
Well,
They got
really big names like Dave Chappelle and
Oh,
like,
I got-
didn't Eddie Murphy also do a deal recently?
he's got to deal with them. Yeah,
Yeah.
hasn't come out yet.
right,
he's
but like
working on it.
still like that's why they're paying so much because these are huge names.
But prior to Netflix having releasing all these specials, HBO used to be one of the premier
Right.
brands.
Oh,
Well,
yeah.
they still are to a
Yeah.
degree. Like HBO and Showtime still put out specials as does Comedy Central. But they like got a quote from the guy from HBO, and they're like, "Yeah, we're not doing that. We're not paying a fucking that much money. We're gonna wait this out.
But, like,
we'll get
that's-
people back to our platform when the pricing goes back
Yeah, there's
down
no
a
way
little
it's
bit.
sustainable
It's
for
not
Netflix.
sustainable, and now Netflix is backing off of it, which makes sense.
Yeah, but I also think that like Netflix has been in the news a lot because of that stuff, like them announcing Dave Chappelle
Oh, they know.
coming back to stand up.
Yeah.
You know, like so, like those big budgets that they're putting aside certainly has gotten a lot of attention and eyes.
Yeah, what they
on
said they were going to do is scale back on the bigger ones,
Yeah.
and still continue to do like
The smaller ones.
like the stand. There's
Yeah.
like right now I think there's two series. There's like the stand ups and there's like the comedy something that I just saw that was the exact same format
Yeah,
where it's
yeah,
15-minute sets, which I think is good.
those are great. Yeah. That's quick enough to like leave you interested for more.
Well, it's also easy for younger talent to develop 15 minutes than
Right.
it is for them to develop an hour, as we saw with like Jenny Slate, who does not have enough time to develop that much material. Like maybe she does. I don't want to put words in her mouth, but like it's getting an hour. That's a quality hour special. You have to be a stand-up comic. That is what you do for a job.
Right.
If you're a movie star, it's not going to happen. So I think this is a cooler way to get people on that could do 15 minutes, 30 minutes, and be good.
So speaking about Netflix, our last story for today, Netflix testing variable playback speeds, presumably for serial killers. That is just editorializing at the end, but like,
Variable playback speeds.
yeah. So
It's like
on
the podcast
Android,
apps.
So you
on-
can like fast forward through it.
so you can play it at 1.5 times speed. And that just seems crazy. I understand for podcast. I mean, I don't understand. I know that people do it for podcasts,
Yeah.
but why would you ever do that for like a Netflix, something on
The
Netflix,
only-
a movie?
I feel
TV
like people would use it for comedy specials.
That's a
But like
horrible idea.
that's
But I don't know
like,
why, but
yeah,
I
that
feel
That
like
would ruin
because
the
it's
timing of the joke.
Exactly.
But I feel like because there's not a lot of, I don't know, because it's just one person speaking, I feel like that's the only thing you could really use it for.
So Android Police revealed that Netflix, Android Police is a website,
Thank you.
revealed that Netflix has been testing variable playback speeds on Android devices, which allow viewers to slow down to half X,
No.
0.75X, or raise it to 1.25
25.
or 1.5.
All this means
Why
is that
would
when I
Netflix
go
do
to
this?
all of my relatives' houses, they're going to be watching content at 1.25 speeds
not understand.
and not know they're
Yeah.
doing it. And then I'm going to try to turn it off and go, no, we like it like this. It's going to be that in true motion. Everything's going to be super fast
Oh,
It's
God,
better
and
this
super
way.
smooth, and no one's going to understand what the fuck's going on, but it's just going to be colors coming out your face, and they're going to love it.
Hard pass.
It just seems like I can't imagine a reason. Like, if you're watching a documentary, maybe, and like you want to watch it
The only
in
thing
45 minutes instead of an hour.
maybe the only thing I could think that where it would benefit my life is when I have to watch the Star Wars prequels. Because man, I'd like to speed those fucking things up a little bit.
I can also imagine if there's a new season of show coming out, right, and
Recapping the old season?
recapping and just
But
going.
why not
through
watch a 3-minute recap? That like Netflix has always been good about doing recaps before, like you know.
True.
Yeah, I mean, you have to imagine like this technology is not that hard for them to roll out, and so they're like, well, okay, why not?
I because it's a bad idea to ever
Like, dude,
give someone the option to do this. I think
this is the funniest thing. It's like I the other day I was listening to a podcast and I accidentally clicked on that button.
Yeah.
and I was like, what's happening?
but it didn't make it better for you.
No, it's weird and off-putting.
okay.
It's very
I
strange.
don't understand why people do it with podcasts. I get the idea behind it, like, oh, I only
If
have an
you're-
hour.
If you're watching a podcast,
Yeah.
like if you're NPR's news and you want to just speed through to hear the stories, I get it.
Yeah, sometimes people just talk really slow, and it's nice to just like speed through that shit.
Yeah, like I like so every once in a while I'll pop on, but like I'm gonna listen to political news, and I'm like I need it to be faster. Let's go. So I can see that, but
Interesting.
Sometimes shows are like 3 hours, and you're like, "Fuck yeah!"
Yeah, but
you
like
said,
I
it's
get so into that. Like I'm totally down for NPR 3-hour long shows, which I don't think like at the most like an hour and a half. Right? Doesn't matter. I enjoy NPR, and like whenever I listen to those as podcasts, I'm never like, oh man, I wish this was half as like long.
Yeah. The
do you
slowing-
do the NPR news though?
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Where it's
Yeah,
just like
yeah.
it's like quick news beats.
Yeah, and I'm
I can
totally
see
fine listening to that
yeah.
at full
I don't know.
speed.
I know.
At
Everyone
regular
wants everything
speed.
faster.
Yeah.
Yeah, I'd rather just fast forward through stuff than speed through it. But
Let me know in comments if you're interested in doing the like faster version of Netflix to watch movies or what. Let me know what you would use it for. I'm curious about that.
yeah,
Yeah.
I don't know.
All right, folks. Giving Barrett a second to run back to the desk because it's time for some ads. And our first ad today is Untuck It. The holidays are almost here, and you know what that means. Gifts! And what better gift to give the guy in your life than a stylish shirt that fits just right? Unlike most brands, Untuck It shirts are actually designed to be worn untucked, which is awesome. Because some people don't look good when the shirt is tucked in and they've got a belt on and then they pull it out and they're like, oh, look at the bottom. It looks silly because it's not meant to be worn this way. Untuck It shirts are always fall at the right length, no matter the size. He looks so casual and sharp. He looks so casual and sharp. Ever see an untucked button down? They look bad. Why? Because they weren't meant to be worn that way. Thankfully, there's Untuck It, the original button-down shirt actually designed to be worn untucked. And with the holidays near, there's no better gift for your favorite guy who needs an upgrade. With more than 50-plus fit combination, Untuck It shirts look great on tall, short, slim, and athletic guys of all ages. Tim loves the fit and look of these shirts. Being able to look good and feel comfortable is not a compromise Tim is often on the right side of, but no more. With Untuck It, you can find your favorite Untuck It styles online or check out one of their 80 brick-and-mortar stores. Choose from styles like wrinkle-free button-down, super soft flannels, which are my favorite, outerwear wear, and more. With Untuck It, your shirts will never look baggy, bulgy, too long, or too big again. That's my problem. They always look way too long because, I'm bigger and I have to get bigger shirts, and they're made for taller people. Untuck It fixes all that. And their website is easy to use. They even have a whole page devoted to helping you find your perfect fit. So whether you're shopping for the perfect holiday gift or just trying to craft a smart, relaxed style of your own, Untuck It is the way to go. Visit untuckit.com and use code MORNING for 20% off at checkout. That's untuckit.com and promo code MORNING to get 20% off. Our next ad is Escape the Invasion. Ever wonder what you'd do if you found yourself in the middle of a post-apocalyptic world that has been ravished by deadly virus inflicted by aliens? I know I have. Looking for a unique date or game night that gets you off your devices and truly interacting with each other? You've got to check out Escape the Invasion because they just announced the launch of their new post-apocalyptic themed subscription box from the makers of Hunt a Killer, the popular true crime mystery subscription game that Greg and Jen really enjoyed. Comes Escape the Invasion, the sci-fi game where you are a survivor on a rapidly dying Earth after an alien invasion. The plot is as follows. You find refuge in a government bunker. But is it safer than the outside world? Can you trust your fellow survivors? You think you're safe now that you found refuge, but there's a council that creates and controls every aspect of life in the bunker. What will you choose? Freedom or safety? It's a tough one, because you're safe. Or be free. With Escape the Invasion, you will receive a box of clues, physical items, and evidence each month. It's up to you to piece it all together, solve the mysteries, and save humanity. Not everything is as it seems in this challenging game where you must decide who to trust. Your decisions will determine the fate of the story, the bunkers, and maybe even humanity itself. It's been called an escape room delivered to your door where Fallout meets aliens. That's pretty cool. Escape the Invasion is a great way to get off your phones and connect with your friends. Or if you prefer a solo adventure, you can interact with their online community to swap theories and help others out. Right now, just for our listeners, you can go to escapetheinvasion.com/morning for 20% off your first box. That's escapetheinvasion.com/morning for 20% off your first box. escapetheinvasion.com/morning. Can you survive the alien apocalypse? I think I can. I know Barrett can. A little tough guy. Now you got it, Barrett. Don't wait, Barrett. Don't you shake your head no. Our last ad today is Away. Away creates thoughtful products designed to change how you see the world. They start with the perfect suitcase crafted with features that make travel more seamless. Now they offer a range of essentials that solve real travel problems so all you'll have to think about is where you're headed next, because getting away means getting more out of every trip to come. I have it right here. It's a luggage. See this, Barrett?
How good that looks.
Look, here, Barrett, let me show you my favorite part, Barrett. You pull up the handle, right? Right. All right. And then there's a little flick thing, and then you press what? What is that? It's a battery.
That's great.
How cool is that? You just have...
It's great for people like me whose phone's always dying because I always forget to charge it at night.
Exactly.
Or if you're living anywhere in California, they just keep turning the power off on us.
Do you want to take this in case they turn our power off?
This
I
is
do want the-
actually
I
Greg
might steal
Miller's.
that battery.
Tim Gettys has
know
the blue version. He's had it for a year. He actually bought it before we got the sponsorship, and he loves his very much. It is the only luggage he will use. He's told me.
I walk by it because there's one a few blocks from my apartment in a store, and every time I walk by, I'm like, oh, should I pull the trigger? I don't know. I'm going to wait to see what Greg Miller thinks, too. We already have our Tim Gettys approval, and I pretty much trust anything Tim says,
It also,
To be honest, if Tim's approved of it, that's
I
a
know.
good seal of approval.
yeah.
Because
He's,
he
they travel so much
he's a
too.
high
everything.
bar
Yeah.
of
I
approval.
can't tell you how many times I've sat there and just he's just staring at a screen with a product in front of it, and he's like, "Not today." You know what I mean? It's like, "Oh, that's done forever."
Echo Chloe in the chat also loves her waist suitcase.
They have the 4 360-degree spinning wheels guaranteed for a smooth ride, because 2 is not enough.
Not enough.
So that's when you can do this thing.
Oh, yeah. You
It
were doing
makes
that
it
a lot
so
earlier.
much easier to move around. That's actually a big deal for me. That and the optional battery, so cool. Like, we're in the future, guys. They got a battery embedded into this damn thing. You can just pop out whenever you need. I love it, because batteries is something I always forget. Next, true. It also comes with a removable laundry bag to separate dirty clothes from clean clothes. That's a no-brainer that I love. Having been able to do that, just incorporate into the bag, that's awesome. Free shipping on any Away order within the U.S., Europe, and Australia. Want to see it for yourself? You can shop everything Away at their stores in New York, Austin, L.A., San Francisco, that's here, Boston, Chicago, and London. So they're all over the place. Tim loves his carry-on. Its thoughtful design makes it easy to always have a place to charge your phone. Wheels that don't stick, laundry bags for dirty clothes, a built-in lock that the TSA won't question. The way this suitcase is constructed really solves for a lot of little headaches that you had to learn to live with when traveling. For $20 off a suitcase, visit awaytravel.com/morning. Use promo code morning during checkout. That's $20 off a suitcase when you visit awaytravel.com/morning. Use promo code morning during checkout. Now let's get to our big topic today, guys.
We back.
Big topic.
Top favorite horror movies, guys.
Ooh, I got my
Want to do
list.
top 5 horror movies for you guys.
Tis this season for
Halloween right around
some
the corner.
Screaming, if you know what I
Absolutely.
mean. Now here's the problem I have is that everyone in my neighborhood partied for Halloween
This last week.
this last weekend.
Yeah.
Which seems dumb.
Really?
Like, why don't you party next weekend? But
Like,
I guess
is November no good?
people are ridiculous. But I feel like we're gonna rage on Thursday night. And by
Are
rage,
you?
I mean
Yeah, no, I feel like you're not going to come to whatever party we have.
No, you're going to the Punchline.
Yeah.
Oh, that ends at 10.
You going to come by after?
You're going to
Yeah,
come
going
from
home after that.
Punchline
Yeah, see?
all the way here.
No, he
and
said
then
no.
home.
He said no.
No, I'm not even coming close to committing to
See,
that.
this is why we don't invite you sometimes, Nick.
You guys always invite me because I'm fun to party with.
But you
When
don't come
Fun
to
Nick shows
parties.
up- when Fun Nick
Anyways,
shows up.
Except that one time for Andy's birthday party. Yeah.
But we get party.
didn't
We get
happen.
party
I knew
extra
you
life
fuckers
Nick
did
this
something.
weekend.
I knew you did. I can't tell if you're being serious or not.
so these lists are in no particular order, or do you guys have it ranked one to
I
five?
don't have any particular
one.
order
Also, I couldn't narrow it down to 5.
Neither could I have 10 on my list.
I have
Do you
7.
really? I said 5.
I have 7 with an alternate 3.
Oh my God! So you have done 2. You have done 2. I only did 5 because I understand
I'm
how
not gonna
rules
follow
work.
directions.
God damn it, I
There's
hate
too
you
many
guys.
good ones, you know.
All right, well, let me start hearing a couple.
You want to start with my list? Or we'll just start shooting some out.
Yeah.
So let me see what I got top of my list. Hold on. Daddy's got to open it. Top of my list, the one that I always think of when I go, hey, I want to watch a cool horror 80s sci-fi movie is John Carpenter's The Thing.
Oh, yeah, it's a good one.
This movie is slow and methodical and really and the
goes
tension
fucking
builds.
wild.
And I love it. And I think it's Kurt Russell in a role that he doesn't really do that often, where he's kind of like the fucked up character that's quiet. More Clint Eastwood than he is John Wayne,
Yeah.
I guess, in this one. It's Keith David's great in it. The cast is cool. It's a great concept. I love anything that is a horror movie where people just can't, no matter what, they're just isolated by the environment.
Yeah.
So it's not like they can just leave. They're not in a city. They're in the middle of the fucking the Arctic snow, and they find this thing that starts killing them one by one, and it is messed up. And I'll never forget when I was a kid, I was terrified of the way the thing moves and pops out and
absolutely.
forms
Yeah,
out of
yeah.
the rib cages of the thing, and
The
you're like, oh my god,
teeth?
that's so
Oh,
terrifying.
God,
Then I watched it again maybe 2 years ago, and I was like, nope, still scary.
Oh, yeah, no,
really,
it
really
nailed
scary.
it, yeah.
Beautifully done with practical effects. One of John Carpenter's classic horror movies, and I think it was the first or second time he'd worked with Kurt Russell, and then they of course collaborated on, I think before that was Escape from New York, and then The Thing, and then of course Big Trouble in Little China, which is one of my all-time favorite movies. I love it, and I actually thought that what they did with the quote-unquote remake, which ended up being spoilers, a prequel, was kind of cool too, with
Is
Mary
it
Elizabeth
spoilers?
Winstead. I don't know if it was spoilers or not, but it was. I think a lot of people went in thinking, hey, this is
It
going to
was-
be
yeah,
tied to it. Or I thought maybe I went in thinking it was going to be a reboot, and it was the story of the Russians.
How
that
they
had-
get the actual
So it ends
finding
with,
it.
Yeah, which is really, really cool. I like that concept too. So
Yeah.
I highly recommend it. I didn't realize it was an actual remake of an old movie called The Thing either,
Right.
until a long time ago.
Yeah, yeah. But it changes a lot from that movie.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. Love that. That's my first performance. Second, and probably the top on my list of all-time horror movies. And I don't know if you. This is where a lot why there's a lot of movies on my list.
Horror is a
I
weird-
wouldn't think
yeah.
of this as a horror movie, but
Lots
it's
of
one of my all-time
subgenres.
favorite movies because it's horror, sci-fi, action. Aliens.
Oh,
Not
so
Alien.
good.
Aliens.
Now,
Aliens,
it
I think
pains
the
me to
better
say
one.
because I feel like Alien, the Ridley Scott Sigourney Weaver classic, is the classic of the movies. But
Really?
James, yes, I would say you look at that.
agree
That
with
is
that.
horror sci-fi. That's a horror movie.
Yeah.
Aliens is more
So
of an
good, though.
action movie.
So
But it has horror elements and it's
Sure.
got a lot of sci-fi elements, and I think those were probably almost evenly mixed, if not a little less in the horror, because after a certain point it becomes
action.
But it's a James Cameron classic, and I think it is the better made film. Dare I say, largely because it had bigger budget, and James Cameron was benefited from all of that.
I feel like the small budget of the first movie like didn't affect it that much
it's a
because
little-
it's such a tight
Yeah, but
like
there's-
space and like
You watch it back now, and some of the stuff at the end with the alien and the costume is like, okay, that's a dude in a costume. But Aliens was so well done, and the fact that they took it up a notch and were like, I just love the way it starts. I love that they find her adrift in space, and they're like, hey, we need you to go back to this colony. Or this planet, and she goes, we can't go back there, and they're like, well, we need you to go back because we put a colony on there. And she's like, why the fuck would you do that? And they're like, oh, by the way, we lost contact with them, so we need your help. And she's like, everyone's gonna fucking die if we go there. It's so good, and you know from the get go that it ain't gonna end well. This is not gonna end well.
So good.
And it's got Michael Bean in it from
Prime
Terminator.
Bill Paxton.
Prime Bill
Game
Paxton,
over,
also
man.
from Terminator.
Gosh, so good.
Great Bill Paxton. Great cast.
The whole team
Cool
is
concept.
so
Dude,
good.
and
The
for
production design is
or-
unbelievable.
Yeah.
and then for number 3 to start with like just immediately killing off
I hated that.
people, or it was like, why would you do this? Could you
I-
not get them? Could you not figure out some other solution?
3 is actually so.
I like 3.
I don't
like
know that I've
3.
ever seen 3.
It's a really.
I even like Resurrection, if I'm being honest.
is that the
it's-
more recent
It's a
one?
harder
Yeah.
one to watch. It's a harder one to get through. It was Joss Whedon, thankfully. but
I grew up
Beyond
watching
that.
that movie though.
I think I
it's-
hated it.
it's not good. But it's Winona Ryder, and like
Yeah.
Sigourney Weaver's
Oh,
like a
no.
clone that has the alien DNA in her, so she's like super powerful. Cool concept.
Yeah.
Not very well executed. 3 was, I think, more stylish. That like, it's a lot of good stuff in 3. I don't think it quite came together, but they obviously were like, we got to figure out a way to get Sigourney Weaver back by herself in a weird and
Yeah.
like dangerous environment. And so putting her on a prison planet with the alien and having there just
Yeah.
be one alien was cool.
I mean, it's a cool premise.
Cool
I
premise.
just it's one of those things where it like pisses you off because you care about these characters so much.
Well, if I'm not mistaken, I forget it was either David Lynch or Fincher that directed that. I think it was Fincher. No, Lynch. Guess ran out of budget for it, so some of the effects aren't even finished in it and
Right,
stuff like
right.
that. So it's not 100% there. But Aliens was a movie I remember distinctly seeing in the theaters, and it fucking terrified me when I was a kid.
Yeah.
So
It was
good.
so scary and so well done, and just cool. Cool movie.
Absolutely.
Do we want to continue down my list, or do you guys want to throw in there?
Why don't you give me 2 more of your list?
Okay, so I will go to my next pick, which is a Joel Schumacher classic. You've heard me talk about it before, ladies and gentlemen. Kiefer Sutherland, one of the main characters. The Coreys, 2 of the other main characters. The
Oh.
Lost Boys.
It's a great one. I did not know that was Joel Schumacher.
I didn't either.
Wow.
I love this movie
great
so much. I can't tell you. Set in not Santa Clara.
Santa Cruz?
No, Santa Clara, I think is where they decided to set it. I don't think it was a real city. I think it was a fictitious city, but it was supposed to be Santa Cruz.
Yeah,
basically,
it's
they
Santa
called it
Cruz,
something else.
yeah.
I think it was
Walking on
actually-
that bridge
I think it was
is
actually
so-
shot in Santa
yeah.
Cruz as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
it was.
These this family, this mother and their 2 sons, moved to town, and this town, it turns out, is overrun by vampires. And they just the main brother becomes a vampire, but he's not quite a vampire yet because he hasn't done his first kill yet. And he hasn't drunk blood yet, and it's so good. And it's a classic. Back in the
good.
80s, there were the movies. There were these 2 guys called the Coreys. They were the 2 Coreys. It's Corey Haim and Corey Feldman. And man, they made lots of great movies together. Were they fucked up? Yes. Were they on a lot of drugs? Yes. Did I know it at the time? No, because I was like 4. It doesn't matter. This is a classic 2 Coreys movie. So good.
It's so good. It's a great pick.
God. Jamie Gertz. She was fantastic too. I had a huge crush on her. So definitely recommend watching that. And I'll go through it. I'll do 2 more of mine so we can. Well, what else am I gonna? You know what? I'll
why
throw
don't
this
you
out
do
there.
5?
I'll
Yeah.
throw this out there. These are my final 2. Okay.
Oh, so you're doing your whole list.
I'll just do 5.
Okay.
And then
well, I
we'll
was
be
gonna
done
do
with my list.
5, 5, 5, and then go back through you guys.
Okay, we'll do 2 more of my 5 then.
That's not math.
It doesn't matter. I think you have
2
one
more.
left.
No, because I've only done 3.
Oh, you've done 3? Okay.
So I have 2 more.
Okay.
I think
Sorry.
that's math. That's fine. A movie that I saw when I was a child that I expected thoroughly to be a cheesy B movie, and have loved it. The second I started watching, I was like, I can't believe how good this movie is. And it is, to me, one of the classic and probably most underrated movies ever made in the genre, Tremors.
Oh,
Fuck yes,
Love Tremors.
Oh my god.
yeah.
A Kevin Bacon classic. A
So
movie that has
good.
stars
Such a good
Kevin
one.
Bacon and Fred Ward, I think, is the other
Yeah.
guy, and no one else. I think the dad from
Reba McEntire. Thank you very
Reba was in it.
much.
Yeah. But if you're not familiar with this, small town
So good.
in the middle
Tremors
of the
is
desert,
so good.
starts getting attacked by these weird primeval, or not primeval, these weird
It's very
Subterranean.
Yeah, it's unclear what they are. and
giant
they've
worm
changed them.
snake things, and they respond to so if you walk, they respond to the tremors of your feet. And
they also make tremors
and
when
they
they
make
move around.
tremors,
Yeah.
and it's so good.
Yep.
And it's a perfect level of this is really scary and campy. Like any
But it's
good
so
horror,
fun.
any good horror film that it relies on a monster has to have that thing.
Yeah.
And the thing for this is that you can't walk on the ground.
Right.
So some movies are like you can't make sound. So, certain movies are like you can't move.
You can't
because the thing will
see
find you. Right.
anything,
You
and
can't
if
see
you
anything.
close your eyes,
This
yeah.
one is if your foot hits the ground, it's like the game of lava when you're a
Yeah.
kid.
Yeah,
The floor is
yeah.
lava.
And there's
If your
a
foot
great
hits-
moment when they're all standing on these giant rocks where it's like, fuck, what do we do?
Yeah. And
Pole
the rocks.
vaulting all
Yeah.
over the place.
Yeah. It's comical, but it's scary, and there's great deaths, and the way they beat the things is great.
Yeah.
It's really fun.
Don't they suck people down and leave their skin sometimes?
I
I
don't
think that might have been a sequel.
That might have been the sequel.
In this
yeah.
one, they have the bigger snakes that come out and grab you and drag
the
you
little
under.
tentacles. Yeah,
And
And
they
then-
have the little things
yeah.
that come out too.
And it's and like they kill one. The first one they kill haphazardly is by just running, and it
hits a rock.
It can't tell that it's going to hit that like the concrete embankment.
Yeah.
Is great. And then there's the other one where you think that Reba and the guy from the dad from I want to say Family Ties. Is that him?
Yes, maybe.
You think they're going to die because they're like in the bunker, but it turns out they have enough firepower to kill the thing.
Oh yeah,
It's
because they have
great.
like all this gunpowder and shit.
Yeah, it's so good. It's just a really
Yeah,
well-made
it's-
movie.
it's a
And
really well-made
they have
movie.
such a fun dynamic, Kevin Bacon and the other guy. Like they're just like these rowdy ass
Yeah.
cowboys.
Yeah, they're so fun.
yeah. And there's also 6 of them, I think.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We only acknowledge the first
I think
one.
Kevin was only in the first one.
Yeah.
Kevin Bacon
Oh,
was
yeah,
in the
for
first
sure.
Because he was like, I can't do this. And then, so definitely recommend that one. And then the final movie on my list is a movie that I just think is one of the, because of the actual fact that it is self-aware and turns the genre of horror movies, like it's a commentary on that.
Oh, interesting.
Is Scream.
Oh, okay, cool.
I love this movie mostly because it's the first movie that it's a horror movie made for people who like filmmaking. It's got the Jamie Kennedy character in there the entire time who is narrating and saying,
Yeah.
these are all the tropes. Like, watch out for all these tropes. And it was the first time I remember like even being like having that concept put in my brain of like, oh wait, yeah, there are these weird formulaic things where like the virgin never dies and
Right.
the people that are having
Yeah.
sex do this and like don't go to bed and don't do this and no, don't go off by yourself. And I just thought it was so clever. And then, of course, if you haven't seen Scream, I don't want to spoil the ending for you, but it's got one of the best twist endings ever in a horror movie. And it's got a great cast, and it's such a sign of the times.
It's
Yeah,
such a
it
90s
really
movie.
is.
It's got Skeet Ulrich in it,
Oh
and
my
Nev
gosh.
Campbell, and
Barrymore.
Drew Barrymore. And like, this is a slight spoiler for people who haven't seen the movie, but of course, one of the most amazing things they did with this was they marketed
Really
it as a
marketed
Drew
it.
Barrymore movie.
Right.
Yeah.
And then she dies like Psycho 10 minutes into the fucking
Immediately. Yeah,
movie. And you're like,
immediately.
okay. And it's gruesome.
Yeah.
Really gruesome. So one of my favorite horror movies of all time.
Forgot that
I
Skeet
thought-
Ulrich was in it.
I thought you were going to say Cabin in the Woods, which
No.
is, I'm throwing shout outs to Cabin in the Woods.
Cabin in the
That's
Woods
on
is-
my
that's a
list.
shout
Yeah.
out.
Oh,
Yeah.
really?
Yeah, so we can transition
Let's
there.
hear more about your list.
Cabin
then.
in the Woods.
Cabin in the
Let's
Woods.
talk about it because going off of yours, like when they talk about all of the tropes and stuff like
Right.
that are in movies and stuff like this, just the way the whole thing is set up, I think it's almost more fun to watch it the second time around when you
Absolutely,
know what's
yeah.
happening and you can see the way that they've woven all of these things into the story, but without you knowing. So fun. What a good cast. You get Chris Hemsworth years and years before he was good because they held that movie for like 2 or 3 years,
Yeah.
I think,
Right.
before they released it. And it's a Joss Whedon movie, right?
When-
It's Joss Whedon and what's his name? Drew. Shit.
The same one that did the.
The guy that executive produced Daredevil.
I'm pulling it up. Drew Goddard.
Drew Goddard. Yeah, I think he wrote that. They were like a team for a while.
Yeah, who also did
really good.
Bad Times at the El Royale, which is why I was so excited about it.
Which did you like? I thought you didn't like that movie.
I did not, which is why I was.
Loved it.
I know, and that makes me upset.
I understand. I totally understand why you wouldn't like it. It's a
I
very
just
weird,
think the trailers
very
are
slow, methodical.
The trailers
movie.
are misleading of what that movie is going to be.
Very true.
IMO. So that's my biggest issue.
But it
with
scratched an itch for me. I'll be right back. I gotta blow my nose.
Yeah.
I'm with
So-
I was just. Are you? I thought you were gonna go to the bathroom to do that. Yeah, Cabin in the Woods. Man, what a good movie. And
Yeah.
like the twist, I feel like when it happens, I didn't expect it, and then
Yeah.
like it commits to it so well. Like where like the end goes so wild.
Yeah.
And it's such a rad thing of like, hey, look at this seemingly government agency or
Oh, yeah,
something that
100%.
predates that even.
And
where,
I
they
love like
have
when
to
they're
do
doing
these,
the
yeah.
bets and stuff like that,
Yeah,
and everything
yeah.
that's in the basement and how that's all tied into
and
it.
when that all comes apart too,
Yeah.
it's just it's so cool to see different people running around and like,
Yeah.
oh, mermaids! I bet it's gonna be mermaids. It's like, oh wait,
This is not what
Yeah.
you're thinking it is. Yeah, I think it's really fun. I think it does a good job of just not what you expect.
right,
Yeah,
totally.
it definitely goes off the fucking rails.
Yeah, and
We're like,
it's
what's
just-
going on here? And then it's
so
like
fun.
goes so supernatural, weird. Like, yeah, it's fun.
Yeah.
that was a fun one.
The next one I want to talk about is Misery.
Ooh,
Oh.
Stephen King. A different
Classic.
kind of, I don't know,
Horror.
it's horror.
No, but
It's
that is
suspense.
horror. That's some scary shit.
Yeah.
Man,
right.
Kathy Bates is scary as fuck in
Yeah.
this movie.
I've seen that character. I forget the character's name, but on like a
Yeah.
lot of top like
It's like
monster
her
lists.
and Nurse Ratched, I feel
Yeah.
like, are always on there. James Caan, always so good. The Thing with the ankles and the
The hobbling.
Yeah, I just
that was the
can't
worst.
handle it, and it makes me really. It's just uncomfortable to watch. And,
Absolutely.
like the way even back then it was like these fandoms that pop up and how like kind of crazy they can get and stuff like that. I feel like that's a Halloween Takagami family classic.
That's one of those that like I have to mentally prepare myself to watch.
Yeah.
that's how you know it's so good. 'Cause
Yeah.
you're like, oh, this is not gonna. It's a great Stephen King story. It shows why he's so fucking good because
Yeah.
even remember the last scene of the movie where at the
Oh,
very
yeah,
very
yeah.
end he's in the restaurant and he looks over and he thinks he sees her. And you're just like, is she fucking
Yeah.
not?
Yeah.
What the hell?
What happened?
It's so good.
I know. I feel like the Stephen King trio of that, Christine, and Carrie.
Carrie's.
So good.
I can't watch that. It's
Really?
so fucked up.
Really?
It's
Oh, it's super
brutal.
fucked
It's
up.
fucked up. But I also don't love like Stephen King is that like psychological thriller kind of thing.
Yeah.
and that's why it's. And I think more often time for me, those are scarier than slasher movies.
I agree.
Because slasher movies, after you know, there's a formula. At a certain point toward the third act, they're just gonna be
Yeah.
running from this thing for a while. But but you just like Carrie's so fucked up.
It is. I know.
So fucked
On so
up.
many different levels. Another one we want to talk about, arachnophobia.
Oh.
Now people,
Yeah.
I have seen people giving arachnophobia hate, Tim, and
What?
I think I remember if I remember correctly, he does not like that movie. I
think I'm
It's so
thinking about
campy.
Eight-Legged Freaks,
Oh, yeah. Those are very different.
also a great movie.
which is a movie I
I mean, I
enjoy.
guess
wait,
not that
let's not-
different.
Yeah.
Arachnophobia
I
was
don't know that I've seen Arachnophobia.
Jeff Daniels. He moves his family from the city to a small town.
Yeah.
Because he wants to get away from the crazy, and it turns out that someone accidentally, via a dead body from Africa, has imported the world's deadliest spider into like a spider we've never
Right.
seen before. But if it bites you, basically causes immediate cardiac arrest, and then the entire town gets overrun with them, and it is fucking terrifying. If you do not like spiders, do not watch this
I
movie.
think this is where I started, like my spider fear started from watching this. When the spider crawls into that woman's slipper, like still to this day, I knock my shoes
when
out.
he's eating the popcorn.
It's so
Yeah.
stressful.
John Goodman's in this. He plays a great character as the
Yeah.
exterminator.
Oh my gosh.
Like
One
it's.
of the best John Goodman.
I love this movie. I think it's really well done, and
Mm-hmm.
it's one of those where it's like, obviously spiders are scary, but the situations they put them in, you're just like, oh.
Because it's all of your worst nightmares of like just normal things that happen, and you're like, you just wouldn't necessarily know it.
And
Spiders
also,
can be anywhere.
This
hate
is a
it. I
movie
hate
that
this.
was done practically. They had to
Yeah.
use
Mm-hmm.
a ton of spiders because they didn't have the technology to actually like animate spiders back then. So you're
Yeah.
seeing people like there's something real and unnerving about an actor actually having to let a spider crawl on its body.
Oh,
You know,
hell
it's
no.
just
Horrifying. I don't like that one. bit.
Eight-Legged Freaks, on the other hand, was another one of those movies.
Yeah.
I wouldn't put it on my list, on my top list.
That's where they accidentally make giant spiders, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It's
Those
silly.
are-
It's
it's
David
silly.
Arquette, if I'm not mistaken, and I remember
sounds
really
right.
liking that movie.
Yeah,
Oh,
yeah.
it was
I
really well
enjoyed
done.
it too. It was like way more violent than I thought it was going to be. I think.
It was. I remember it being more comedic, but
Definitely comedic.
Oh, it's silly.
Yeah.
It's goofy.
Yeah.
Another one, Poltergeist.
That was on my list as well.
It's so good. Craig T. Nelson.
Craig T. Nelson. What's her name? Mary
Joe Beth.
Joe
Williams?
Beth. Well, something
like that.
It's 3 names.
Yeah.
She's great. Barrymore is the kid, right?
Yeah.
No. Barrymore's not the kid. It's a different girl. It's
Is it
Oh no,
not,
it's the other girl. Barrymore's the kid in E.T.
That's right. E.T. That movie fucking scarred me when I was a child. The clown. If you show me
in
a
the
clown
room?
doll, I will kill everything in the room. And get away
Obviously,
and
we're
go to
talking about the original and not whatever bullshit remake they made like 3 years
Man,
ago.
the
I didn't
bullshit
watch it.
remake was bad. That was a bad movie. That was one
Yeah.
where it was like, how did you make this so much,
Well, and it's like it's just shot for shot. It's still real bad.
but not good?
No, the scene where it's raining in the backyard and the pool and the skeletons also
Ah.
really creepy and terrifying, and I hated it.
Joe Beth Williams was her name.
There we go.
There's Toby Hooper. That's who directed it. I always think of this movie as a Spielberg movie, but it's not. He didn't direct it. I think he just produced it and wrote
yeah.
it. But it has that Spielberg quality to it, where it's really scary, but there's also like a magic to what's happening. Where like there's
Yeah.
a moment where the whole family is just in the living room of the house together, and the woman they brought in to like help like get the spirits out is just telling the
One from
story,
Teen- or
and
from
it
Teen
almost
Witch.
feels like
Her
a
voice
slumber
is so
party.
creepy.
And
Yeah.
it's weird, but it's also like it has that weird moment where you're like, I kind of want to be there and hang out with these people at this time.
No,
Just 'cause
I
it's like a
don't
haunted
have that.
house.
I have
Yeah.
totally opposite.
I don't know. I think it's a beautifully made movie. If you haven't seen it, it's really, it's a classic at this
Yeah.
point.
Well, and that plus all the like weird stuff that happened on set with like people dying and stuff. I feel like there's just like weird energy around.
There's
that
a very
movie,
weird energy around that movie.
which makes it
for
almost
sure.
a little bit scarier. It's like, oh, this is like part of real life stuff. And then I have one more. I'm gonna go with super old school. Vincent Price's House of Wax.
Oh wow.
Oh.
It's one that
Yeah.
I loved as a
Okay.
kid and haven't rewatched in a while.
They've remade that.
They
right?
remade it with Jared Padalecki, and
Is
it
that also Paris Hilton?
yeah, it was real bad. There's one scene in there from that one that I also really sticks with me, where they just like snip Achilles tendons, and
Oh,
so they
I
can't
hate
walk. And I
Yeah,
was like,
I
oh,
hate
that
those scenes.
is not good. But I love the slow burn of older ones and trying to figure out how it all works. And Vincent Price is just a master
Yeah.
of horror. So if you haven't ever watched it, I recommend it. I don't even know how you watch it these days. I would imagine it's probably
search
streaming
for it.
somewhere.
What's hilarious is I always get this confused with a movie called Waxwork.
I don't know if I know that one.
Which was Zach Galligan, I think is his name. I think
Mm-hmm.
say his last name. Zach, Galligan, who I think was the main character in Gremlins.
Oh.
And I remember watching this going, wow, I want this movie to be as good as Gremlins, and it is not.
Oh,
What's the name of this other movie you're talking about?
Waxwork, which is a wax museum owner uses his horror exhibits to unleash evil on the world.
Is this it?
That's
yeah,
House of
Vincent
Wax.
Price.
Oh.
It's the 50s.
So you can
Super
rent
old.
it for $4 on Vudu,
Oh, perfect.
Apple, and then Microsoft.
I think I'm gonna rewatch it. There used to be a really cool old theater somewhere in the like Bay Area. I want to say it was like I don't even remember, but they used to do. It's like an old movie palace, and they used to show like this and Creature from the Black Lagoon.
Was it a big theater? Mm-hmm. How many like cinemas do you think it had?
Oh no, it was one theater. It was like an old
You
movie
sure it's
palace.
not the Westport one?
I'm positive. It
Okay.
wasn't in the city. It was like
Okay.
on the peninsula.
Got it.
And they used to show them in 3D. And so I just remember that every Halloween it was always really fun to go and see all these like Creature from the Black Lagoon is just like old school horror and
classic.
stuff
Yeah.
like that.
Classic horror.
But it was always my favorite to go. And that's where
I went
This
down
one's
a
so
bit of
good.
a rabbit hole on like old school horror, not horror, but old school like kind
Mm-hmm.
of Halloween-y scary style stuff because I watched the Addams Family Values movie.
Yeah,
Which
I love that movie.
I love.
Yeah.
I love those two movies.
That, like not horror. That's Halloween, right?
Halloween.
Yeah,
That's more of a
yeah,
Halloween
yeah,
movie. But I started
Mm-hmm.
going down the rabbit hole of like, where did that come from? And the Munsters and all those shows that were back on like the early
Yeah.
60s, which I used to love the Munsters, hated the Addams Family.
Really?
I always thought the Munsters was the first one and the Addams Family was the ripoff.
It's the other way around.
I didn't realize that the Addams Family had come from like a comic strip that was like in a
Right.
newspaper and all that stuff. And I was like, oh, that's really creative. That's cool. And the
Yeah.
guy that wrote it his name was Adams with 2 D's.
Oh.
That's why it's the Addams Family.
Yeah.
It's fun, kind of fun.
Yeah, absolutely.
Monsters was funnier though.
Monsters was just goofier. Yeah.
Real quick, while we're talking about Halloween movies, shout outs to my favorite Halloween movie, Hocus Pocus.
Great
Not
movie.
a horror one, but a great
No,
Halloween
but
movie.
still good.
Love it. Very. interested that they're gonna make a sequel potentially for Disney
Bette Midler's
Plus.
still kicking around, so is Sarah Jessica Parker.
Yeah, they're all still alive.
Kathy Najini's, or I don't even remember how to say her
can't
name.
remember her name.
But she's been doing Disney Channel original movies.
Yeah, she has.
So she's clearly around too.
Yeah.
I will also give a shout out to my other favorite Halloween movie, which is Sleepy Hollow. I love that one.
Oh.
I like that, and Beetlejuice is on my list as well, but it's not a horror movie. It's marked as horror, but I'm like, that's not a horror movie.
Right.
No.
That's
it's
that's more of
definitely-
just a
it's
silly comedy. But I love Tim Burton.
Was that
Keaton, though.
all you were doing on your list?
Yeah, that's 5.
Okay. I'm gonna do mine really quick. Trying to decide.
I'll
So
be
the first
interested
one.
to see if any of us have anything that overlaps.
Well, Poltergeist was on
Well,
my
you guys-
list.
Okay.
Yeah.
But I didn't. The thing about Poltergeist is I haven't seen it enough
Oh, really?
to really put it on my top 5 list. Like Tremors, I've watched probably like 20 times.
Yeah.
Because it's just like a guilty pleasure movie,
Oh,
and it's very
100%.
well done. But Poltergeist is one of those that like it would be on my list if I wasn't still every time I saw the cover wasn't transported back to being a child who was
Freaked
fucking
out.
terrified of static on TV.
Yeah.
Because of that movie.
Poltergeist and The Exorcist are both for me. Like they're like I'm not gonna put them on my list, but like that has like a guttural fear every time
Yeah.
I see certain scenes where it's like I remember being very young and being like, "This is terrifying.
I hate
Why am
this."
I watching this?" It was my choice.
Yeah.
I made that
Yeah,
mistake.
you like the pain.
Yeah. All right. So let's go down my list. The first one, more of a suspense movie, but like again, when I watched it the first time, I want to say I was like 6. Silence of the Lambs.
It was on my list.
And it
also.
was like terrifying.
Yeah.
Of like people can be monsters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Silence of the Lambs I put on my list as well, but I was like, I don't know if I specifically think of that as a horror movie.
Yeah.
Although it is listed under horror.
Yeah.
But
And for
that
me,
is
it's always been a horror movie.
Yeah, but
It's
that is
definitely horrifying.
psychologically scarring
Yeah.
to watch that as a child.
Yeah.
Did they die?
Yeah, I think so.
Okay. Yeah, and it's just also something about like the good guy, which was Jodie Foster,
Jodie Foster's character.
being helped
Clarice Starr.
by Hannibal Lecter, who is like a crazy monster, and we
Yeah.
don't really see that till later. You know?
Well, the scene where he escapes
Yeah.
has scarred me for life.
Yeah.
Where he escapes by, if you haven't, I'm not going to spoil it. If you haven't watched Silence of the Lambs,
Watch Silence of
it's
the Lambs.
actually one of like a really great, very well made movie.
Oh my god, it's so good.
But it is disturbing.
Yeah.
And it's a little known fact from my wife's favorite movies.
Really?
I'll catch her watching that sometimes, and I'm like, you gotta stop.
Yeah, you do the voice, right, to freak her out every once in a while.
Oh.
No, that's not right. That's not the voice.
that's-
No,
the
that's
main
not
voice.
it. That was the main voice.
Oh,
Okay,
puts the lotion on, right?
puts the lotion on its skin. She'll be like, stop it.
It does what it's told, or it gets the hose. God, there's so many fucked up things about that.
It puts it puts the lotion on its skin, or also gets the hose again.
Yeah.
You're like, oh my god,
God, it's so.
stop it. She looks over and sees the fucking nails of the other people that
Yup,
have been in
that
the pit that had
yeah,
tried to climb out.
Another one, a more modern one that really like. I was like, damn, this is a good horror movie. The Babadook.
No, I never watched it.
Oh,
Really, really
that's
liked it.
Way more artsy
Yeah.
than campy, which I feel like is
Yeah,
why.
yeah, yeah. It's. I'd say it's more artsy and also more like straight up horror because it has so many moments where it's like this giant monster's coming out of somewhere.
Yeah.
And it's just like, oh, I hate this.
I don't know if I loved the ending to this one.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I feel like I've watched a bunch of videos that are like,
I've only seen it
oh,
once.
this is what it's actually about, and it's,
Yeah.
it's about depression and all this stuff. Where it's like, I feel like that makes a lot of sense and makes it like
Yeah.
cooler for me. Let's move on to my next one. Now this is an old one that I love, Child's Play,
Oh yeah.
and
I
I
never
haven't seen the
watched these.
reboot. Oh man, Child's Play specifically,
Scary.
it's scary because it's
think
like the threat is like this tiny little thing where it's like,
Again,
oh,
dolls
but
coming
it's-
to life.
Yeah,
Terrifying.
Yeah.
it's you're not expecting it. You're not prepared for it, and he's just like running around. And like the end when he starts because it's all voodoo in that one. Like the remake is an AI. I think I haven't seen it, but
It is.
the voodoo like starts turning the like Chucky the doll into a real person. So like there's a moment where his arm gets broken, and it's like you can see inside of it, and like that gore is so visceral to see this doll get its arm torn, and it to be like what you
Bone,
see,
yeah.
bone and skin, and it's like so graffic.
And I'm gonna give a shout out to Brad Dourif, who played Chucky. He
Okay,
played the
I
voice.
was about to say shout outs to the goddamn voice because
Yeah.
he's so good.
So freaky, and he was also in. He was in 2 other movies that I remember from the '80s. He was in Fatal Beauty, which was a Whoopi Goldberg movie, not very good. I went back and watched it recently. It does not hold up. But he was also in. He was in the fourth Aliens.
Oh.
I think
The
he was
fourth
he was
Aliens.
he was the remember the
The
one
dude in the wheelchair?
No, that was a different guy. He was he was the scientist that was like in
Oh,
love with
got
the
it.
alien.
Yeah, all right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
He's freaky.
I was trying to figure out just voice alone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah. He's been in Brad Dourif's been in
yeah.
a bunch of shit. He's always that freaky fucking character though.
Yeah. But yeah, Child Play unfortunately has way too many sequels. Where
Oh,
I feel
yeah,
like the
Bride
second
of
one's
Chucky
fine,
and-
the third one gets a little bit much, and then once they stop calling them sequels and they're just like Bride of Chucky and The Seed of Chucky and
Yeah.
Cult of Chucky. There's so many of them. Let's move on. Another modern one. It Follows.
Man,
Oh, it was a great movie.
Yeah.
this movie stuck with me. I was just thinking about it
Yeah.
for like days after I watched it.
And like that's like horror movies I feel like that stick with you as an adult. You know, like that's fucking
Yeah.
something. And like the idea of no one else being able to see this person
Yeah.
following you, and like all the, like the fact that it's really a venereal disease
Yeah.
that is transmitted through that, and like
Yeah.
that's cool concept that like that stuck with me for a while. And then the last one I'm gonna mention, one that like I don't know how big of a movie it was, but like I think I watched this also when I was 12. Terrified. I don't know if I've ever finished it. Event Horizon.
Oh yeah.
Oh, I've never watched it.
Oh
It's
my
too
God.
Really
scary.
cool movie.
It's so like the gore is so excessive, and like when it cuts to like it's about a spaceship that gets lost, that like
It's sucked
they
through
were
a black hole of some sort. Right?
they were trying to do some teleporting stuff, I think, right? Where they were trying to
something weird, but it opened up like a dimensional rift. To hell.
to hell.
Yeah.
And it's like the whole crew is like gone and missing, but you get clips of stuff. It is terrifying, and like it's the first time I ever saw anyone get thrown into space, and it shows like
What it
them
does.
like like the blood boiling inside of them.
Yeah,
Man,
it's
that movie
terrifying.
was fucked up, and like I want to go back and watch it, but like that I feel like is the definition of like horror, where it's like I couldn't finish it when I was 12, and I still think about it often.
Yeah, I love that. I love that movie. It's a good. Lawrence Fishburne was the main character, and Sam Neill, right?
Sam Neill was the main character. Lawrence Fishburne was like the second in command, but like they were both prominent in there.
God,
Yeah,
so good. So good.
yeah.
That one in that one in Sunshine. Did you ever see Sunshine?
Sunshine,
Not a horror movie. It's a sci-fi movie. But
Sunshine,
that,
I don't like as much because
I
I
love
feel
that
like
movie.
the end of it, like not the end is also like very like it's up in your head what happens.
Was Sunshine?
Yeah.
they restarted the thing.
Yeah, I know, but like when it actually like they're about to hit the sun and like the dude opens the door and it's right, doesn't it get all like really weird there?
I just remember there being a great moment where I was like, where they had a great character transition for Chris Evans, where his character is the security officer and he's a dick to everyone the entire time. And then at the very, very end, he's the one that's like, listen, you motherfuckers are like thinking we're going to survive it. We're not going to survive
Yeah,
this.
this
Get your
is it.
head in the fucking game. Like, this is it for us. Yeah. And then he has that moment where he's got to jump into the nitrous or the cold water that's like freezing cold water to get the thing started, and you just see him like none. He doesn't even hesitate. He just does it, and he comes up and he's trying to fucking get warm again so he can make his hands move. So fucking good.
It's really cool. I just feel like it kind of jumps the shark with them finding the other ship and the other captain just being fucking crazy and like constantly burning himself.
Yeah, that was a little weird.
Yeah, right? Where he kept opening the shutters wider and wider.
Yeah.
So like at the end he was like at 85% and like his skin was totally charged.
Yeah, he loved
And
it.
it's like that person I can't imagine being as strong as they made him. Cause like I feel like at one point he lifts someone totally up and it's like they grab him by the skin and the skin tears because it's so burnt.
Yeah.
But it's just like that it was so cool and real and like all these people come into the decision that like they might have to die.
Yeah.
Then it suddenly becomes a slasher where it's like, what the hell is this?
That was
It's a weird
Yeah.
turn.
That was a
Yeah.
little weird.
Yeah, but really cool. And
Cool
also
power.
the decision that leads to them combining ships to be like, oh, this will help. And like, we don't know what went wrong with that ship, but like we could probably fix it and take it to the sun. So rad. Yeah.
So cool.
Yeah. But again, loses me at the end.
Well, but
Yeah. Well, so those are our lists. A couple of you guys wrote in to tell me what your favorite horror movie is on the Patreon bronze tier. Let's see what Juan Lobo says. One of my favorite horror movies, favorite horror movies is the OG 2004 version of Shudder, and then just says #Greg sucks.
yeah, suck.
I've never seen
I've
Shudder.
seen that pop up
Yeah.
on a lot of things, but I don't think I've ever watched it.
It looks scary. I was watching a trailer for it. No, thank you. Mark Freeman says probably the scariest movie I've ever seen is Red State. So real. Also, shout outs to Tucker and Dale versus Evil, or being one of the best takes on horror in a long time. Dude, I really enjoyed Red State, and like that is like one of those things that like it feels like super possible, and like that's
Those
scary.
are the scariest
Yeah.
ones. That's why I like the Purge movies too, where it's like, this isn't the weirdest thing that's ever been in a premise. So.
And the last one I'm going to read is Mike Towndrow, who says, horror is my favorite genre, so this question is always difficult to answer. But in recent years, The Witch, in recent years, The Witch is always the first to pop in my head. Admittedly, it's not for everyone, but the sense of growing dread paired with breathtaking production is not only unrivaled, but addicting. Dude, I totally agree. Like, I don't know
only
if either
got
of you guys-
halfway through.
Oh.
I never watched it.
It's very slow, but like the ongoing dread that like is slowly accumulating, where it's like these people accusing this girl like in her own family of witchcraft, and like it's slowly getting bigger and bigger, and like it has a twist that comes right at the very end, and I really enjoyed it.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, the twist is crazy though. And it is a very well acted movie with Anya Taylor-Joy in it
I love her.
as the main character. Also, her dad is great too, but I don't remember his name. He said a little bit more. Let's see. With both The Witch and The Lighthouse, Robert Eggers is now 2 for 2, showing he is a masterclass filmmaker with a unique, fresh spin on traditional horror stories. I already cannot wait to see what's next. And incredibly eager to see what his take on Nosferatu is.
Oh, interesting.
Will look like in the future. Happy Halloween, my pretty little pumpkins. That was
You just like that part?
yeah, I did. Great takes in there. Real happy about that. Now it's time for me to tell you what is out on streaming platforms. Not much for Netflix. We have Raging Bull. You know, Nick, you like Raging Bull?
You know, no.
Yeah.
I know it's a great
It's
movie.
a fucked
Yeah.
up movie.
I know it's a classic. I
Yeah.
just can't get through it because it's a bit dated, and I
Sure.
know that's sacrilege to say, but
It happens.
I just can't do it.
And then movie theaters near you this week, we have Terminator Dark Fate, Harriet, and Motherless Brooklyn.
I know now why you cry, because it's tear ducts. Thanks, man.
It's to get the water out of your eyes.
It's because of why the eyes you sad. I get it.
Thank you for joining us today. You can follow me on social media at KindaFunnyKevin.
Really quick, is there a bronze tier for next week?
Oh, yes. Sorry. Great call. Bronze tier for next week is Thanksgiving movies. What movies get you in the mood to eat and be with your family?
It's the Great Pumpkin.
lot.
I don't
Charlie
know.
Brown.
That's why. I didn't
I
know
have
if there
one,
was.
but we'll talk about that next
Yeah.
week.
We'll talk about it next week. Movies that you just have to watch around Thanksgiving. Thank you for joining us. You can follow me on the social medias at KindaFunnyKevin. You can follow Joey at Joey Noel. You can follow Nick at Nick_Scarpino. Go and watch Jojo Rabbit because it's the best movie that I've seen in a long time. Kill the lights. We're done.
Bye.